Coming at you live tonight from Houston, Texas, the rodeo capital of the world, and of course the home of the Houston Texans, NRG Stadium, for the second of three Marvel Monster Jam events. Good evening and welcome once again to all of our Monster Jam fans watching live around the world. I'm Scott Jordan alongside my broadcast partner, the 7 Deuce Deuce, Adam Entignap. We are coming to you from our broadcast studio inside Monster Jam World Headquarters. Now, just 2 short weeks ago, we made history with our live broadcast welcoming the Marvel Monster Jam trucks to the U.S. in Glendale, and now we are back with round 2 in Houston. Adam, the Marvel Parade took a back seat to the debut of Gravedigger 42. Does Adam Anderson have what it takes to make it 2 wins in a row?
I mean, Adam Anderson looked very comfortable in Gravedigger 42. He got the overall last weekend, but you know where else he's comfortable? Houston, Texas, NRG Stadium. He has 9 racing wins in this arena, which holds the record for the most. He's got 2 skills wins, 4 overalls, and his brother Ryan Anderson, the winningest driver in Houston, Texas. The Andersons are hot here in Houston. And on top of that, he's already comfy in Gravedigger 42.
And you got to go back to the old Astrodome right across the street from NRG Stadium to the Dennis Anderson destruction days in Gravedigger. The Andersons throughout Monster Jam history have owned Houston. Also in Glendale, Caleb Blood drove Sparkle Smash to that first stadium freestyle win. We know how popular this truck is in Monster Jam among the fan base. How could she ride that momentum here tonight?
I mean, the way she can ride it is just keep that same attitude she had last weekend and keep the fans on her side. I mean, Sparkle Smash is one of the most popular trucks in Monster Jam, and last week proved it. Not to mention, Caleb Blood is a perfect match for that truck. She's tough. She wants to beat the boys, and that is the essence of Sparkle Smash. But there was a lot of controversy over that win last week on that freestyle.
There was some controversy. I read some of the YouTube contents. I was involved in that chat. Social media, a lot of fans out there saying that there were other runs they thought should have won. Adam Anderson was one, Zach Gardner was another. But specifically, let's talk about Kayla's run because it was a freestyle winning run. What did you see out of that run that gave it the win?
You know, one of the big things that I saw Kayla do is she started out with a big jump at the beginning of her run. Nice way to kind of set it off. But the cake topper of this situation is right here. You see the body come off. Now look at the crowd reaction and then bam, right into a backflip. If you aren't on an absolute high as a fan at that moment, I don't know where you are because Kayla Blood did exactly what she needed to do to get the highest score she could get.
Well, let's go back to Adam Anderson's run because he had a freestyle winning run as well. Didn't win last week, but maybe any other place where Sparkle Smash isn't, maybe he wins. What did you see out of Gravedigger?
There was a couple things that I saw out of Gravedigger. At the beginning of his run, he started out very similar to Caleb Blood. You can see this jump off of the back of the freestyle ramp for Adam Anderson where he got nice air. But watch this. He makes a little bit of a mistake, comes up short, has to hit the brakes, and then throws it in reverse. And I think that mistake right there that he didn't anticipate was a huge factor in what he got scored because watch how he just drives around the track. He's running out of time. He doesn't have enough time to get to the backflip ramp on the other side. He parks the truck on top, tries to get the fans going, but no backflip, Scott. How are you supposed to win a Monster Jam freestyle without completing a backflip? And I think that one mistake kept him from doing that.
Well, the Marvel Monster Jam drivers went winless in Glendale. Barry Musauer had to battle fuel pump issues in Black Panther, while Jamie Sullivan dealt with motor issues in Thor. How do they respond tonight?
Well, you know, as an athlete, you got to get a little upset.
Right, and also don't rip the front housing off in practice. That also works.
Yes, that works. Yeah. That works very well, but we'll get to that next. With Barry, take a little bit of that frustration, bottle it up, and use it this weekend. I'm sure the technicians and Barry have that truck absolutely perfect. They had plenty of time to get it right. They're going to come out swinging this weekend and take a little bit of that rage out on the competition and really put it down. For Jamie Sullivan, you just got to not start practice out like that.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
She didn't.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't this week. But you can't start it out like that. You rip the whole front end of the truck off. You're already nervous because this is your first time in Thor, and then you have to have a whole new suspension package on the front of that truck. You have to, all these parts are getting whipped out the window trying to get replaced, and she can't get comfortable, and it's hard to do.
Well, Jamie has all the tools to rebound nicely here, and earlier today I spoke to the Thor driver about tonight's event. Hey, Jamie, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I know you have a big night ahead of you, but let's go back to last week in Glendale. You dealt with some truck issues. The gremlins crept up in Thor. Can you explain to our fans what went wrong with your truck?
So in Glendale, in my Monster Jam Thor debut, unfortunately, we had some gremlins with the truck in Freestyle. So a little bit, like maybe 20, 30 seconds into Freestyle, my shifter actually fell over and took out the entire power to the truck on a landing of one of the jumps. So unfortunately, it was a bummer because we had such an awesome Freestyle lined up, but unfortunately that happened to actually stop that run for us. So hopefully we have better luck this weekend.
I know you have a little bit of experience at NRG Stadium, but this dirt here, always historically tacky. There's always a lot of carnage. How are you going to be able to adjust to this dirt, to this track, and keep your truck from having any damage?
I actually had the privilege to come to Houston, the NRG Stadium, last year with Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So this year, being the first time in Thor at the stadium, it's going to be super epic. The dirt is a little bit tacky, as we saw in practice, but you know what? I had a really good race pass down here, so that dirt is working in my favor so far, and I'm excited to see what's going to come out of it.
Final question for you. You mentioned Monster Mutt Dalmatian. You said goodbye to that truck last weekend. You're saying hello to Sparkle Smash in 2025. What would it mean to you to bridge those two eras of your Monster Jam career with a championship in Thor?
You know, last weekend, leaving Monster Mutt Dalmatian for the final time, it was definitely surreal, and it was a little bit sad at the same time. But going into Sparkle Smash in 2025 is going to be super epic. But, you know, Thor, being the first time they're here in the U.S., these 3 weekends, Glendale, Houston, and Arlington, you know, to get an overall championship with such an iconic truck and one of the only 3 times I'll ever be in that truck, I'm super pumped, and hopefully we can do it.
Thank you, Jamie. Take a look at tonight's driver lineup. Mostly the same as in Glendale. The usual suspects. The Kohlers have joined the party. Adam, what an impact can Jim and Chris make here?
I mean, they can definitely make an impact. It's always throwing a little bit of a mix-up in their new drivers. Jim Kohler, Mr. Excitement, he could do anything at any time. We know that. Have a big crash, a big moment. He's always one to mix it up. But Chris Kohler and the Rod Ryan show. Now, I really think Chris Kohler has just gotten better and better in his Monster Jam career from his rookie season, getting that Co-Rookie of the Year award. But Chris Kohler, he likes tacky dirt. He likes Texas. He hasn't particularly done good in Houston, but he did really good in Dallas. So hopefully you can take a little bit of that momentum and bring it here tonight.
Deidre Garner replaces Zach Garner. She's driving Miss Overboard. Tough shoes to fill, Adam. But I've watched Deidre compete in person. She is up to the task. What are your expectations for her tonight in Houston?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Scott. She has a tall order to fill. Deidre is coming into a fully stacked lineup, and not to mention the Marvel lineup is in full force tonight. They did not come away with the overall, and this is the Marvel partnership. These other drivers are going to be coming full force. Deidre, she better get on the gas.
If you've been here before, you know the drill. If you haven't, our competitors tonight are going to compete in 3 competitions. Racing the Great Clip Skills Challenge and Freestyle. Points are based on finish. 12 goes to the winner, and the driver with the most points at the end of the event is crowned the overall event champion. We will kick things off with the JCB Racing Competition. It is a bracket-style racing tournament. We have some great matchups in round 1. I'm going to run through those for you here right now. And we got Iron Man, Black Panther, Vendetta, Miss Overboard, Jurassic Attack, Rod Ryan, Sparkle Smash, Avenger, and then in round 2, Gravedigger, Spider-Man, Thor, and El Toro Loco. Jamie Sullivan had the fastest time, but we're going to go to track talk right now because they got to run on this racetrack. Houston dirt, always very tacky. For over 20 years, it's seen more than its fair share of crash madness. It's like the 13th competitor out there. How do these drivers attack this dirt?
You know, Houston is such a special place for me. This is my very first main event. And on top of that, this was my very first race ever in Supercross. I know this dirt like the back of my hand. If you see at the top of your screen, they got the water trucks out and they're ripping the dirt. And why that is so important is they're trying to open it up because this dirt here in Houston is so tacky and so sticky. It's going to create so many gnarly ruts and it's going to push that dirt to the side. So you're right, it is going to be the 13th competitor in the way of how the track is going to develop, and that is going to be the biggest struggle tonight. On top of that, this is a brand new track layout that they are going to implement on Stadium Series West. in 2025, so they'll get to test that out, which should be fun for us to watch tonight. But relying on your technician is going to be absolutely the most important thing.
It's a center start Chicago-style track. Last week we saw Stadium Championship Series East. Drivers got to stay low on that first jump and watch the corners. Here's your racing bracket. Iron Man, Black Panther, Vendetta, Miss Overboard, Jurassic Attack, The Rod, Ryan Show, Sparkle Smash, Avenger, Gravedigger, Amazing Spider-Man, Thor, and El Toro Loco each get the first round buys. Adam, anytime you automatically advance Adam Anderson and Camden Murphy, you're asking for it.
Yes, you are definitely asking for it. The races that I want to see, though, are Jamie Sullivan with the fastest time. I want to see if one of those Marvel drivers, Iron Man, Black Panther, can go up against Gravedigger and eliminate him early. Also, you have Camden Murphy. I mean, every single matchup here is going to be amazing.
Well, we've been yapping long enough. It's time to go to our first break. When we come back, we're going to go to the track at NRG Stadium in Houston for the first competition of the night. JCB Racing is up next. I'm excited to see this track come to life, and we'll be right back with more Monster Jam Live from Houston. Welcome back to NRG Stadium in Houston. We are live here, Adam and I, in the broadcast studio of the event, live in the rodeo capital of the world as we get ready for JCB Racing, the first competition of the night. You got to start off good. You got to start off early. This was where we saw the wheel starting to fall off the wagon last week in Glendale for Barry Musauer. He won that race, as you mentioned. Fuel pump issues kept him out. So it's almost like striking when the iron is hot. You have to really keep the truck firing on all cylinders, and you have to also have a little bit of luck to get through the bracket unscathed.
Yes, it is very, very difficult. And that's one of the things that I had to learn in my Supercross career was you have to start out great. If you don't start out great, it just makes it tough, tough, tough. If you're on a little league team, a soccer team, whatever you want, if the other team scores first and they put points on the board, you're already trying to make up time for all these Marvel drivers and every single driver on this floor. They have to strike early, get the momentum on their side, get everybody chasing their tail, and that will help them carry throughout the night.
And one thing we have not seen yesterday, after watching practice, which had its twists and turns and its thrills, is freestyle.
Yes.
And I spoke to Scott Olinsky last night. We were texting back and forth about the track, and he was telling me he's excited to see the freestyle part of this track layout. We've seen what racing can do, but there's elements in this track that are very freestyle friendly.
Yes.
So the combination of the turns that could cause drivers to roll in racing may actually go in their favor for freestyle. All right, we are going to go down to the track here at NRG Stadium. It is time for JCB Racing out of Ramona, California. Brandon Arthur, Ironman. And there's the man out of Orlando, Florida, Barry Musauer in Black Panther. In this truck in the U.S., Barry currently 1-0. And we are off and running. Up the ramp they go, and down the ramp they go. Barry in the red lane, Brandon in the gray lane. And you're going to watch this first corner here for Brandon Arthur.
It looks like Brandon was just a slight bit slower out of the gate than Barry was, but he might have made up just a little bit of time.
Final push here for Barry Musauer, and that is a close one. We're going to go to the replay. Right out the gate, Brandon may have had this one. Take a look at the original super glue glued to the action replay. Wow.
I mean, this is the first race of the night, and I cannot tell. It looks like Brandon Arthur.
We're going to wait the official times coming in.
What an upset.
Well, I wouldn't call it necessarily an upset because these two have been battling all year on the International Series, and Brandon has beaten Barry a handful of times. Not many, but enough to make this interesting here. And there's the times, 19.723 for Brandon Arthur, 19.773 for Barry Musauer in Black Panther. Those two are the fastest times of anybody when you factor in practice. So right now, through all of those practice rounds and then this round one matchup, Brandon Arthur holds the fastest time on this track.
Yeah, and one of the things that I seen that was very interesting is Brandon was very slow and gingerly through these corners. He wasn't trying to push the track hard at all, and that could be the key in these beginning rounds. Make sure you don't flip, get a decent time.
Mike Christensen, Vendetta up against Deidre Gardner, Miss Overboard. And if you didn't get a chance to watch practice yesterday if you're watching at home, but we sure did here in the studio. Deidre had the first clean pass on this racetrack of any driver. I spoke to her earlier this week. She said she's a little nervous. It's a big spot for her. She realizes we are live around the world, and she says Jamie has the utmost confidence in her, as does Zach. And I'm excited to see what she does here in Miss Overboard.
Well, I mean, Scott, there's a reason Deidre is driving this truck. She is you know, not to take Gravedigger's slogan, but she's bad to the bone. She knows what's going on. She can get it done.
Well, here we go up the ramp and down. I love this start. You go down, you go up. It's all over the place. And here we go into the corner. Mike Christensen, Vendetta. Deidre Gardner miss overboard. Mike clips the pod, and he has got a little bit of an advantage.
He's got a slight advantage. He does run that big motor, but Deidre is on the throttle. She's hitting the rear steer.
Final push to the finish line.
Wow.
And we may have another upset. This would be an upset if Deidre Gardner gets the win. We're going to take a look at the original Super Glue replay.
Well, I'll tell you what, this track is working out. Deidre, it looks like Deidre comes away with the win. This is 2 upsets in a row. It is going to be a good night.
I do want to say this. Mike did not get a full pass on this track yesterday, as there are the times 21.186 for Vendetta, 21.103 for Miss Overboard. That was his first opportunity to run the track. He was at the line, the starting line, trying to get up to it, came off the line, then had transmission issues, never came back for a race pass. So for Mike, you could tell maybe not familiar with this track. Deidre got a couple in, and it pays off big time for her with a nice win. So Deidre Gardner, how about that? Stadium debut for Miss Overboard and Deidre, and she knocks it out of the park.
Well, I don't want to get too excited. They were almost 2 seconds off the first 2 going out there, but a win's a win.
Well, I'm going to get excited for you, pal. Let's go to the next matchup. I've been looking forward to this one since I saw the bracket. You have Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack, Chris Kohler in the Rod Ryan show. And Dalton Widener, 2 weeks ago in Glendale, made it to the second round, lost to Wildside. And Chris Kohler now coming back in here after taking Glendale off. He and Jim back in the saddle. And now the Rod Ryan show going to go up against Jurassic Attack. You have Dalton, who is the Arena Racer of the Year, and Chris, who is a former Rookie of the Year. So 2 of the young superstars battling it out for a spot in the second round. And he's James Sullivan. Nice air. Look at the air for Jurassic Attack right off the ramp. He got some air off that.
Definitely hitting the throttle hard. I don't know if that's necessarily the move, but definitely hit it hard. Oh, it looks like Chris Kohler makes a mistake and goes around the first jump.
You cannot make a mistake against Dalton Widener. Another close finish. We are paying off these finish lines here, and we may have a 5-second penalty, I'm being told by our officials. Let's take a look at the original Super Glue, glued to the action replay.
Yeah, I figured something like that was going to happen. Unfortunately, Chris Kohler does take the win at the finish line, but you can't go around the entire race ramp, unfortunately.
No, you can't make up your own rules as you go here, and you got to follow the racetrack as we await the official times coming in. Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack. Looks like he may be advancing. We're going to take a look. Yep, 19.758 for Dalton Wider. You tack on 5 seconds to Chris, and the Rod Ryan show gets 24.423. So Dalton Wider going to move on. We have one more round 1 matchup left to go. It's going to be Sparkle Smash against the Avenger. You want to talk about a driver with a lot of history in Houston. Jim Kohler has had some of the most crash madness moments in Houston history.
I mean, that's why we love Jim Kohler, though, right? Is he doesn't always come up with the most consistent runs, but he comes up with those highlight reel things that he does that lives on for so long in Monster Jam, and that's what the crowd really wants to see, is that one big highlight moment.
And here we go, Sparkle Smash, Avenger, Jim Rock, the Avenger, Fire Body, the old. Oh, he's going over in that corner. That's what we're talking about with the dirt. The route's just forming, the rut's forming, and Jim Kohler goes over, and he's going to impede the race ramp, so she is going to get an automatic run into that second round. So a tough break for Jim Kohler on his first turn. Kayla Blood is victorious here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jim just misjudged that first turn, grabbed the edge of that pod, really just slinging it in there with all the confidence in the world. Just ran it a little bit too tight. Unfortunately, rolls over there, and that will take him out for racing.
Now, if this was another round of the bracket, Kayla, I say, would not have gotten a fair shake because she wouldn't get a time, but it doesn't matter. Moving into round 2, she'll go against Jamie Gardner. He gets the lane choice because of the first round bye.
Yes, regardless.
But for Kayla, though, at the same time, she does get a complete race pass to fill out that lane.
Yeah, but this is the thing as a racer. If you're going to give me a win, I'll take it any way I can get it. If I don't have to race you to get a win, I will take it. She is moving on. She's getting more points, and these are the valuable points Kayla needed to get the overall. Now, take a look at Jim at the top left of your screen here. You can see in full speed, he really just went for it there. Caution to the wind, grabbed the pod. Kayla has to slow down because Jim is impeding the race lane. Unfortunate for Kayla, but at the same time, a little bit of positive there.
We got some good matchups moving on to round 2. Gravedigger versus Iron Man. Spider-Man up against Miss Overboard. Thor against Jurassic Attack. El Toro Loco versus Sparkle Smash. Looking at that, I love the Jamie Sullivan, Dalton Wider matchup. We get that matchup. They both made it to the final 8 at World Finals. Take a look. There's your round 2 bracket. Adam Anderson going up against Brandon Arthur. Camden Murphy against Deidre Gardner. Jamie Sullivan, Dalton Wider, as I just talked about. And then Jamie Gardner versus Kayla Blood. 4 spots remain. Who you got heading to the semis?
Man, I was actually just looking at that. If Iron Man can beat Gravedigger, I can see Iron Man coming away with this entire win. But another person I'm looking at in that bracket is Jamie Sullivan, the fastest lap time. She has yet to race. We've yet to see her on the track. She could come away with that semi too.
That is true, but Brandon Arthur did have the fastest time of the round 1 drivers moving on, so that could be a matchup to watch for. And Brandon, when we debuted these trucks in London last year, Brandon surprised all of us by winning the racing competition. So he can win. It would be maybe the upset of his young career if he takes out Adam Anderson.
Yes, it definitely would, but that's no surprise to me. Brandon is a racer. He's an off-road truck racer and, like you said, a short track racer as well. This guy has been doing this for a long time. So this is his specialty, and he needs to try to get as many points in Ironman as soon as possible, so at the end of the night, he doesn't have to fend off Gravedigger in freestyle.
All right, what about the curious case of Camden Murphy? Because we've talked about this, and when it comes to history here in Houston, I mean, he's got the stats as far as racing and skills go. I mean, he's got 2 racing wins here, 2 skills wins here. His best freestyle finish is 5th. He does have an overall event championship. If he comes out of the second round beating Deidre Gardner, he could possibly make it up against Adam Anderson or Brandon Arthur. So we're going to find out here soon what that round's going to look like. We are back in business as we get ready to kick off round 2. Adam Anderson pulling up at Gravedigger 42. He's going to go up against Brandon Arthur in Ironman. So Adam takes the red lane. Brandon goes to the gray lane, and we are ready to rock. Up the ramp they'll go, and then down elevated, and then down ramp on the Chicago-style racing track. And here we go, a little bit of air, and it's all about staying low into this first corner, and Adam Anderson absolutely nailed it.
Gravedigger exited just slightly wide, but he made a great apex coming out of that second corner. Adam Anderson on rails.
Pushing this thing, Brandon Arthur made it close, but Adam Anderson gets the win, tried and true, and Gravedigger 42. Here's a replay.
I like what you did there, tried and true, Gravedigger 42. I hope that sticks. Yeah, Adam Anderson clearly getting the win there, and it all came down to that very first corner. I'm sure those technicians and crew chiefs are on the horn. Hey, we have to go tight in the first corner, let it swing wide, apex that last pod, and hammer on the throttle.
Times are in 19.354 for Adam Anderson, 19.619 for Brandon Arthur. So it's a respectful go for Iron Man, and we're going to move on to the bracket. The Amazing Spider-Man's Camden Murphy. He's going to go up against Miss Overboard's Deidre Gardner. And we talked about the upset Deidre had over Mike Christensen. This would be, I think, even a bigger upset to beat Camden Murphy if she can pull it off.
Yeah, this would be a much bigger upset. Camden Murphy is unbelievable at racing, and he's been great so far in this Spider-Man truck at the first round. But I am worried a little bit for Deidre with that 21 time. We did see just now that Adam Anderson pulls the fastest time with a 19.3, but I don't know if a 21 is going to cut it against Camden Murphy.
He has one competition win in her Monster Jam career, Donuts in Dayton back in 2023. And here we go. Look at the start for Camden Murphy. Down the gray lamp. He goes and in Camden Murphy into that corner.
Oh, looks like Deidre had to do 2 turns in that one corner. She's going to be behind.
And she went wide as well coming off the ramp. Has to play catch up here. Camden Murphy with a heck of a pass. And he comes in. Nice win there for the Amazing Spider-Man. Take a look at the super glue, glued to the action replay.
So before this finish line in that first turn, it all went wrong for Deidre in the action in that first corner where she had to make kind of 2 turns. It looks like she wanted to slide the truck, but just it was hooking up too much. Then she has to slow down, make another turn, and that's what Camden got away.
One half of the semifinal bracket is set as Camden Murphy checks in with a 19.167. He will get lane choice next round against Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, 20.672 from Miss Overboard. Now we move to the other side of the bracket. Jamie Sullivan and Thor. No truck issues for her. Very confident coming in here. She goes up against Dalton Widener in Jurassic Attack. And Dalton just continues to impress on these stadium tracks, and he's going to have to do this week in and week out next year. He's been elevated to a stadium series where he will team with Mike Christensen, and I think the expectations were that he would be just as fast on these longer tracks as he is in arenas, and he hasn't disappointed.
No, he has not disappointed. Last week he did have some crucial losses that he needed, but let's see if he can come up with a big win.
He's got to hit the brakes there. Jamie Sullivan going slow, and we talk about no truck issue. Something happening there with her. Jurassic Attack is going to get the win. So Jamie Sullivan broke right there. You see her just sitting there on the track. This is going to affect his time, which is going to affect lane choice for the semifinal round matchup. That could be great for Caleb Blood or Jamie Garner. Let's take a look at the replay and try to see what happened to Thor.
I mean, just unfortunate. It's going to be an electrical issue, some kind of fuel pump or a transmission issue, one of those three things. With the way that the truck was going and then kind of just came to a stop, that's going to be a difficult fix for sure. You see Dalton Widener here come across the finish line. He's got to slow down just that little bit. Not going to get the time that he wanted, like you said, but moving on.
One more matchup remains in this round. So a DNF for Thor, 21.923 for Dalton Widener. He will advance to the semifinals. He won the Great Clip Skills Challenge a week ago. Could get a second stadium competition win here with a win in JCB Racing. So our final matchup will be Jamie Garner and El Toro Loco, and he's going to go up against Caleb Blood and Sparkle Smash. And remember that storyline we had in round one, she did not get a complete pass on this racetrack. So for both of them, all they had was practice yesterday, and now it's anybody's game here.
Yeah, it definitely is, but, you know, I think it's more important for Caleb Blood to come out here and prove that last weekend, you know, it wasn't a fluke, one, but also she can get the whole overall, and that's what these drivers really want, is that event overall, but she has to get the points in racing to be able to get that done.
Comments coming in on the YouTube channel. Somebody just said Jamie Sullivan may not be worthy of the Mew Mew. He's talking about Mjolnir on the back of Thor as the truck continues to have some issues here. Here we go, Sparkle Smash and El Toro Loco. Caleb Blood looking strong, but Jamie Garner is on a rails right now.
Oh, no. It looked like something might have happened with Caleb Blood there for a second. I don't know if that might be a transmission issue or what's going on.
Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco going to advance, and he most likely will get lane choice as we check out the replay.
Yeah, you can see Jamie Garner coming away with a win. Solid win, too, by a whole truck length there. It looked like something happened with Kayla, like maybe she popped it in and out of gear for a second or something weird. The truck kind of like backed off, turned back on just for that millisecond, and that's what gave Jamie that win.
19.988 for El Toro Loco, 20.690 for Sparkle Smash. So El Toro Loco will get lane choice over Jurassic Attack. Spider-Man has it over Gravedigger. So two great matchups. We'll see Adam Anderson against Camden Murphy, Dalton Widener against Jamie Garner. What a great matchup it would be if Dalton Widener makes it to the final round and just pulls the upset and wins the racing competition, man. I think that would really cement his status, not just as an arena racer, but as a stadium racer as well.
Yeah, but Dalton Widener had the opportunity last week or 2 weeks ago. He had it versus Zach Garner, and he lost to Zach Garner. And then now he's coming back. Zach Garner isn't here. Zach Garner won 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Dalton can do this. He can get it done.
Yeah, fans coming in. I love the interaction in the chat rooms. They're cheering on their favorite drivers. They're talking to us. So, yes, we see your comments. We hear you, and we're here watching it. This is exciting racing bracket as we continue on to the semifinal round. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger up against Camden Murphy and the amazing Spider-Man. Camden takes the gray lane. What do you think about that choice?
I think right now it's more so about communicating with the technician and seeing where the ruts are. Everything's looking pretty even at the moment.
Camden Murphy up on three wheels in that corner. Took it high. Adam hits the pod. Adam just hit the pod, goes right off the ramp, and Camden Murphy is going to win this, but he's got to maintain his momentum for lane choice in the finals.
It looks like Cam had to slow down just a little bit, but what Adam Anderson did is he tried to execute that first corner like he did in the last run, and what happened is Adam Anderson cut that apex just a little too tight, grabbed the inside pod, got up, had to back out of the throttle, But what a gentleman move to get out of the way to let Camden Murphy finish his run.
Well, Adam Anderson's been around for a long time. He's made many gentleman moves in his career. 19.384, so Camden not too far off his time in the previous round, even with Gravedigger slightly impeding the race lane. And now we will get El Toro Loco against Jurassic Attackman. The way we're doing this new format where we're doing these live streams, you and I are in the studio calling this thing live from Houston, it's amazing. It shows you how incredible technology is and the fact that we're able to sit here and interact with our fans as they watch along with us and feel this excitement. I'm like a kid in a candy store again. I started watching Monster Jam when I was a kid at the Baltimore Arena, and now I'm sitting here. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is really cool, and it's even more cool to see all the comments coming in, and it's like we're watching the show at the same time. We're watching the race. We're watching the comments coming in. This is just so much fun.
And here we go. Dalton Weiner, Jamie Garner. El Toro Loco versus Jurassic Attack for Spondo Racing Finals. El Toro Loco with the deep corner. Jurassic Attack coming in hot as well. Dalton Weiner has a lead. He did go high off the ramp.
Looks like Jamie Garner had to check up a little bit. He needs a perfect last corner. He goes a little wide.
Dalton Weiner gets the win. Jurassic Attack getting it done. Take a look at the Super Glue replay.
Dalton Weiner getting it about by 2-3 BKT tires coming away with that win. A little sideways there. You can tell Dalton was pushing it to get that win.
Going to be a great final round. We're going to get the Amazing Spider-Man against Jurassic Attack. Dalton Weiner versus Camden Murphy. The JCB Racing Finals are next on Monster Jam live from Houston, Texas. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. We are back at the home of the Houston Texans, NRG Stadium, with the JCB Racing Finals. We have a good matchup here in the final round as we are down to our fastest two on the track. It is going to be Camden Murphy and the Amazing Spider-Man against Dalton Weiner in Jurassic Attack. Now we're going to see lane choice here. We did not get times on the previous matchup. So Spider-Man, Jurassic Attack, not sure. We're going to take a look right here to see the times for Dalton Weiner. 19.415. That gives Camden Murphy lane choice. Adam, where are you going on this?
I'm going in the exact same lane that I beat Gravedigger in, and that's the gray lane. And what do you know? Look at where Camden Murphy's at. He is going to be absolutely lethal. He has something to prove. Marvel has not gotten an overall so far in these events, and Camden wants to be the first guy to get it done. And I'm pretty sure, Scott, I called that at the top of the show.
You sure did, man. Camden has 2 racing wins here in his career, 2019 and 2021. He has a 16-7 career racing record at NRG Stadium. Dalton Weiner looking for his first career racing win in this building.
Yeah, just a little bit of depth for the fans is Camden Murphy did have the fastest time of a 19.1, and then his next time was a 19.3. Dalton Weiner's last time was a 19.4, so only a tenth of a second is the difference. This is going to come down to who makes the mistake.
It's going to be an incredible story for Dalton Weiner to win this racing competition. I know a lot of fans on the independent circuit have backed him for such a long time, and it's a great story no matter what, even for Camden Murphy to win, because this would be the first Marvel truck to win a competition on a domestic stadium track. And here we go. The JCB Racing Finals have begun. A little air off the pod for Dalton Weiner.
Looks like Dalton had to kind of make an S-turn. Maybe lost just a slight bit of time. Camden Murphy with the advantage. Stays low over the first racing jump.
About a half truck lead. Camden Murphy final turn. He's in a bicycle, and he goes off the track, though, Adam.
Does he keep the right front tire on the race ramp?
He sure, in fact, did. Camden Murphy, the Amazing Spider-Man, gets it done, and Marvel is in the win column. Take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay.
Okay, we are going to have to look very close. It looks like they're giving Spider-Man the win here, but Camden Murphy, wow, he barely made that happen. You see Camden Murphy a whole truck length past Dalton Weiner at the finish line, but he barely pulled that off. You can see up on 2 wheels. Look at the control from Spider-Man, and gets the right front tire down.
For him to be able to control that and keep the truck in that race lane on the Ram, 19.141. Fastest time. Unbelievable run for Camden Murphy. And Camden just keeps going, man. That momentum. Spider-Man gets the win. Coming up, we'll hear from our racing winner. That is next on Monster Jam live from NRG Stadium. Monster Jam is brought to you by Grey Clips, the official hair salon of Monster Jam. Download the Grey Clips app and check in online today. Coming up next Saturday night, we'll be live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. That's October 26th at 8 p.m. for another incredible Marvel Monster Jam live event. Make sure to mark your calendars and join Adam and I as we're bringing all the Marvel Monster Jam action from the Lone Star State when we kick things off at 8 p.m. Eastern at AT&T Stadium. Let's take a look at our BKT overall point standings after racing. Camden Murphy gets 12, Dalton Water with 11, Jamie Gardner gets 10, Adam Anderson with 9, and Brandon Arthur gets 8 to round out the top 5. It's been the Camden Murphy Show and the amazing Spider-Man, and moments ago, KCG caught up with our racing winner.
Camden, racing is in your blood. It is what you do. Talk to us about how around that last corner, even after you nicked the turn pod, you were able to regain control and win Monster Jam racing.
Man, I knew with him in the other lane, he has gone so well lately, and he has absolutely been tearing it up on the track. So I knew I had to give it every ounce that I could. And man, I thought it was over right then and there. But that is why you never, ever give up, Houston.
So beautifully said. You had all these fans on their feet, and there's a lot more action to come. Coming up next, we have the skills challenge. This is where we kind of slow things down, and it gets a little bit more technical. Talk to us about your thoughts moving into that next competition.
Man, you know, my career in Monster Jam started in the arenas, and those things were super tricky, really tight, but a lot of tricks, a lot of crazy stuff. But I tell you what, we came to Houston with nearly a sold-out crowd here tonight to go big, to get wild, and swing the Amazing Spider-Man from these rafters. You guys want to see some more Monster Jam?
Let's take a look at that race here. Camden Murphy on fire right now, and big reason to be beating Dalton Wider in the racing finals.
And you know, Camden said he pushed it to the absolute limit, and he knew he had to against Dalton. And you can see he's given that Spider-Man truck everything it's got. He pushes up in that last corner, gets on 2 wheels, and barely makes the save. But that is what Monster Jam is barely pulling it off, making a big save, making a big moment. And you know who made the big moment now? Spider-Man.
Not as big a moment as you being the Velvet Fog on national television.
I love it.
What is that?
I love it. You know you love this.
All right, so
You're just jealous you don't got this jacket.
Camden Murphy off to a great start. Let's bring the narrative into play. And I know he doesn't like when I do this. I'm going to do it anyway because it's my job.
Yes.
Wins racing. Strong in skills. It's freestyle, man. We're going to get there. If he doubles down here and wins skills, which he's done twice in his career at NRG Stadium, he's got 24 points, all right? It would take a heck of a tumble to fall out of the overall championship.
Well, Camden Murphy is known to make a few tumbles. All we can do is hope that that new Spider-Man truck has a different vibe about it. He has a different feeling with it. Maybe the fans are going to give him a different energy here tonight. But unfortunately, it seems like when Camden comes down to that big moment, he can't seem to finish it off. But he's got to get it done in skills, too. You got to get that lead.
And he's been teaching at MJU every weekend prior to Glendale. So everybody doing all these different summer events, Camden was out there teaching and welcoming new drivers, helping new drivers and technicians and everybody else out there with Tom Mintz at MJU in Paxton, Illinois. So Camden may not have the seat time, but he's still been a part of it. And I know he's been off driving some other things as well. But for Camden Murphy, this would be a huge coming back party for him as we go into the 2025 season. Because, Adam, we're in the end of October. We have one more month, November, and then December. And then we're kicking it straight off to the Road to World Finals again.
Yes. You know, and for Camden Murphy, he did take that time off and teach all those drivers. And it would be a very great welcoming back party. But for Camden Murphy, it just feels like it's the underdog story. It's always that. He's got the skills. Camden, we know you can do it. Just do it tonight. Make it your night. What he has to do is put that out of his mind and go drive the truck.
Another shout out to all of our Monster Jam fans watching around the world on all the platforms. We appreciate you being here. Again, I've got the chat up. We see your comments. We'll try to chime in here. There are a lot of fans right now asking us what Camden's driving next year. And we're not there yet, folks. We're not there yet. We're sworn to secrecy here at Monster Jam HQ. Right now, let's get to the Grey Clip Skills Challenge. Each driver gets 2 attempts to perform their best maneuver on 2 wheels, or they can choose to do a donut, and fans get their first crack at scoring here at Houston. And up first, Mr. Consistency, Bari Musauer in Black Panther. It's good to see Bari in this competition. We missed him in the Great Clip Skills Challenge in Glendale.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to start out with saying is it's just good to see Bari out here. You know, when you have a fuel pump issue like you did 2 weeks ago, it just makes it difficult. And we all want to see Black Panther. I mean, look at this truck, the purple lights underneath of it, the vibranium on the outside. And I'm pretty sure I talked to a couple technicians, Scott, and that's real vibranium on the truck.
Well, in that case, it would be indestructible, my friends. So we'll see.
The fuel pump, I guess they changed it out
Right.
this week. Now it's made of vibranium.
We'll see if that vibranium fuel pump holds. Bari Musauer has never won a skills challenge here in Houston. He's got a freestyle win back in 2021, 15th start at NRG Stadium. Here we go, Bari Musauer right up into a nose wheelie and going for the moonwalk combo. Can he get it back over that lip of the ramp, though? Not a whole lot of room. You saw him trying to ease that in, trying to get the teeter-totter flip, and nothing there.
Well, you know, as we look at this replay, he got a great pop off the back tires right there to get that 12,000-pound truck balanced on those BKTs, and it just looks like it's effortless for him. But it's just good to see that, I was going to say it's good to see that he didn't start out with a slap wheelie, but here we go. Is this the
Saved
slap
it for
wheelie?
attempt number 2. Nope, couldn't get it.
The slap wheelie.
Could not get it. So Bari Musauer gets 1 successful attempt, nothing on Slap Wheelie City. Houston is not Slap Wheelie City tonight, my friend.
No, it is not. He didn't quite hit that second. See if we can get another replay of that, but this is his first hit once again. See a little flame coming out the exhaust there. Getting that truck balanced, 12,000 pounds. It's absolutely amazing what they can do with these trucks. But you can see the truck's just a little turned, and it looks like he grabbed the edge of that freestyle jump on the right, and it took away the impact where he didn't get the bounce back up to get that slap wheelie.
One thing I want to point out, you and I talked about the track as far as racing. We previewed it a little bit for freestyle, which we will. Somebody in the chat, one of the fans, pointed out that this track does not seem to look favorable for skills. What are your thoughts on that?
Skills is a difficult competition because it is hard to get the exact perfect little lip. I think there is a few hits out there for skills. Do I think it's perfectly catered to skills? No, I do not. Is there opportunities out there? Yes, but it's definitely not a skills-oriented track.
Bari Musauer got a 6.291. Here comes Mike Christensen in Vendetta. A start in Glendale. Still looking for his first skills win. He does have a freestyle win on this track as well. Houston is honestly, I have a few favorite stadiums that I've been to, but Houston is one of my favorites just because when I was a pit reporter in my early days, I was always so busy here because of all the carnage and the crazy crashes that we had on this dirt. It literally, I don't know what they put in the dirt in Houston or the water that they water it with, but my goodness, man, this stuff is crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit different out in Texas. And you can see he gets that popper, and he thought he had it. And I think what he did was let the brakes off just a little bit too early. See if he can get a slap wheelie here.
There's one. Mike Christensen telling Bari Musauer, I got your slap wheelies, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, let me show you how it's done, Bari.
Take a look at the replay.
Okay, here he goes. He grabs that popper, and then you can see he thought he had it, and the back end was going to stay up, but he got onto the gas or let off the brakes just a little too much. And then here he learns from what Bari did. He gets more off to the left, doesn't grab that freestyle ramp, gets a nice little popper to have a second attempt.
I don't think we've ever seen a slap wheelie win the Great Clip Skills Challenge, but it's always a consistent move, and the chance of breakage on that is very slim to none.
Yes, and I think that's what you're going for. If you're hitting the slap wheelie, you're like, okay, you know, I got a solid first run, or I didn't do what I wanted to in the first run. I can't risk 2 bad runs. Let me just put some points up on the board. That way we're in the event championship at the end.
Now we get Chris Kohler in the Rod Ryan Show. Rod Ryan, a staple here in Houston. 6 to 10 weekday mornings, 94.5 FM, The Buzz. Always a spot for Rod Ryan in Houston. This truck has outlived everybody. You're making his 44th appearance in a Houston event.
I cannot even believe 44th appearance is absolutely an eternity. But I think the Rod Ryan Show has had 44 appearances and no wins in a competition. So tonight, if Chris Kohler
Chris
can
Kohler
pull this
catches it.
off
Wow.
with the combination move.
There's a wow moment. Chris Kohler, I thought he was going over, and he ends up flipping that sucker right back up, man. Great move by Chris. Check out the catch here.
Now, it wasn't perfect, but this is that wow factor that we're looking for. We did the double, got the back end bounce, a little bit on the front, and Chris Kohler from side to side.
Chris Kohler means business. I cannot wait to see this truck in freestyle, man. If he's doing this in skills, just wait. He's going to unload in freestyle.
Or what's left
if
of
he
the
makes
truck
it.
in freestyle.
Check out the replay.
Okay, here he goes for the first hit. He gets a nice little popper off the back end of that truck. That's a nice combo move. It looks like he's been putting in work in the offseason and then hits the bicycle here, gets it up on two wheels, turns into that thing, tries to get the Cyclone, swaps on the other side, little combination move, lands on the hood. Chris Kohler, you are not kidding. He means business.
That's got to take the lead. That has to take the lead.
Yes.
We await the score coming in from Houston for the Rod Ryan Show. Chris Kohler just put the crowd on notice here, got him up on their feet. We'll see if they slid that BKT tire all the way up for him. 7.525. I think that's a little low.
A little
low,
man. Scott.
That was some pure carnage right there. I loved it. There's a great look at Jim Kohler watching his son. That Avenger fire body is absolute fire. And we're going to see Jim Kohler coming up here soon as we continue on with the Great Clip Skills Challenge. You're watching Monster Jam live in Houston. We are back at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, the rodeo capital of the world. You're watching Monster Jam live as we continue on with the Marvel Monster Jam historic live events. Here's your current leaderboard for the Great Clip Skills Challenge. The Rod Ryan Show 7.525, Black Panther 6.291, and Vendetta 5.382. We just saw Chris leave the truck upside down on the track. Dad Jim probably said, you know what, son, great job. Now it's my turn. Here comes Avenger. That truck body is absolute fire, man.
Yeah, no pun intended, right, Scott? I don't know. I just have a feeling we're going to see a big sky wheelie out of Jim Kohler. What do you think?
We're going to see where we're at here with this. I love this track for multiple reasons. They're so innovative. Scott Olinsky, Dan Allen doing a great job keeping things fresh here. But the 8-pack is buried into a very inconspicuous corner. If we're looking at the 50 cam overhead, you see it kind of off to the side. It looks like a ramp, but on the other side is an 8-pack. And Jim not going for sky wheelie. He is backing it up for an Avenger moonwalk. Yes,
he is. He's going to back this thing up, put it on the top of that backflip Morgan & Morgan container. You might be rethinking it. I don't know if he's talking to his technician and trying to get lined up a little better.
He's a little off to the right here, so he may be considering something else here. Maybe we'll get the sky wheelie, or maybe he's going to the other side of the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. He looks a little locked up there.
Wonder if something's going on with the truck, or he just decided that wasn't the call.
Jim Kohler coming in now to the other side of the track, so he goes all the way around. So we may end up seeing the sky wheelie here from Avenger.
Something might be wrong with the rear steer.
I told you the back looked locked up as he came off to the side. Sky wheelie for Jim Kohler doesn't get a lot of air, bounces, it gets the front down, tries for a slap wheelie on the back end.
I wonder if he's just trying to get some points here. It looks like that rear steer is just holding on a little bit too long. It's a nice sky wheelie there, not what we're used to from Jim as far as height-wise. He gets that thing 90 degrees up in the air, which is what you're looking for, but definitely not the height.
Jim Kohler making his 25th start in Houston, about to enter his 29th season. And now going for a popper here, backs the truck up. Went for sky wheelie instead, so just kept it going. I didn't like the way that back wheel bent a little bit, so that is it for Jim Kohler in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. We thought we were getting a moonwalk here, and instead we get the sky wheelies.
Yeah, I think something's going on with the truck, and he's just trying to put points on the board, do something simple that he knows. 2 sky wheelies here. Definitely not, I don't think it's going to bode well with the fans, but he comes away clean, and hopefully he'll have enough time to fix his truck if there is a problem for Freestyle.
Chris Kohler took the lead with his previous run. Jim Kohler going to try to take the lead away from his son and give it right into Team Scream. So you got the Avenger going. This is about a third of the 3.633 for Jim Kohler. So fans not scoring the sky wheelies very well. We'll see if the drivers take that into consideration when they come out onto the track. Brandon Arthur out of Ramona, California, an Ironman. racing bracket. He started the night off beating Barry Masauer. He gave Adam Anderson everything he had. And now going to try to get a win here in the Great Clips Skills Challenge. Last week in Glendale finished 5th in the skills competition. Still no skills win in the 2024 International Series. Couple racing wins, some freestyle wins as well. Brandon has Ironman right where he wants it, going right up for the stop. He's right on the chalk line. Perfect execution. Right into a moonwalk, wasted no time. All the way up, back onto that pod, and right back down the other side. So making great use of that racing pod, and Brandon Arthur with a nice combo move.
Great combination move. Gets the popper on the back wheels here. Sets that truck perfectly vertical. Hits the reverse. And then the key factor here that I think should get some extra points is getting that thing up and over that pod in reverse. Great job.
Brandon Arthur again going to the well one too many times. Can't quite get the moonwalk, and that'll end that attempt. So nice try for the combo move. First one was great. We'll see how the fans score here at NRG Stadium. Take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay.
So right here, watch him when he hits reverse. It looks like he's a little out of control. Hits reverse a little quick, and that makes me wonder if he's having a problem with his shifter. Right here, you can see how it popped right there. I'm not sure. Maybe he is having problems with his shifter. Something's going on there because it looked like he didn't get reverse when he wanted to get reverse. So hopefully during the truck, trying to get that all figured out.
Well, here's the great thing about the skills challenge is that you, as a driver, you can take your truck right to the pit area, start getting it worked on, get a little extra time if you go early in the order. But look at that, 7.999, and we have a new leader, Brandon Arthur Ironman, taking the lead with a 7.999. Fans rewarding the technical skill they saw in that first attempt.
I mean, that's an interesting vote from the fans is all I'm going to say. I think Chris Kohler might have had a better run in the Rod Ryan show, but fans get to be the judges here. Two-wheel skills, definitely great first attempt for Brandon Arthur.
Deidre Garner in Miss Overboard gets her first crack at a Stadium Great Clip Skills Challenge. Love the look of that truck. I love the purple beadlocks on it as well. Fits that Team Overboard Motorsports 5 they got going there. Sky wheelie attempt for Deidre Garner. Gets it right up to that vertical base, bounces it down, and take a look at the replay.
Yep, almost picture perfect and identical to what Jim Kohler did with that sky wheelie, but I think she got a little bit more height there, so be a little bit better score with the fans. Looks like she's trying to get the truck back running. Something shut off there. Hopefully she can get a second attempt.
Miss Overboard gets another attempt. We haven't seen too much of Miss Overboard in Monster Jam. We haven't seen a whole lot of Deidre as well. He's done a couple events over the last few years, filling in for Team Overboard. And fans get a good look here at this truck. The world is watching live in Houston, and Miss Overboard has the spotlight solely down on Deidre Garner.
Looks like she's going for the same exact thing Jim Kohler went for. Sky wheelie here.
It's the throttle. That's a nice sky wheelie there. Keeps the wheels moving, bounces it end over end. And a great jump there for Deidre Garner, Miss Overboard. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, I would say that's a definite improvement to what Jim Kohler did. Do I think it's going to take the lead with how Jim Kohler's score was? No, I do not, but solid run. Solid run for Deidre.
We await the score. The score to be 7.999 from Brandon Arthur in Ironman. Will the Sky Wheelies make it happen for Deidre Garner? Can she take the lead in the Great Clip Skills Challenge? Scores coming in here from Houston. We're halfway through the field. 6 trucks in, 6 trucks still to go. And we have not, at the moment, Adam, seen a single 8 fly off the board.
No, we have not. Brandon Arthur, there's your top score.
5.699 from Miss Overboard. So we'll see if Jamie Sullivan and Thor can beat this streak of no 8s on the leaderboard.
Let's see if Jamie can just beat the streak of staying on the track here. That's what Jamie needs, is she needs to put some points on the board. Hopefully she can have no more truck gremlins.
Jamie Sullivan comes in off the ramp into a nose wheelie. 180-degree base angle of the truck. Mjolnir in the back.
There we go.
Now she's got it going. You can hear the fans, the roar of the fans right now in approval of Jamie Sullivan. They are solely behind the driver of Thor right now as she starts to moonwalk this thing back.
And this is something that's going to bode well with the fans. She not only hit the rear steer, but do you see how slow she's creeping that truck? I mean, that is such a fantastic display of skill. It's almost, when you're in the truck and you're actually trying to do that, it is so difficult. You're locked into the straps. The truck, like the gravity's pulling you to the ground. You got the seat belts on you. You're trying to control reverse and forward to keep that truck balanced. I mean, that's just so difficult, especially to do it with that much precision.
You know what they call that center pod there when Thor hits it?
What?
The pod of thunder.
I love it.
Here we go. Jamie Sullivan going to try to get this thing back up. The back two tires. We saw the last 2 weeks ago in Glendale, the maximum moonwalk attempt. So Jamie going to try to get a successful one right here.
Pop it up.
Ooh.
Little aggressive there, but gets the truck under control. Nice job. Very difficult to get that 12,000-pound truck under control when she has to get it popped up off the back of that ramp. You could see all the sporadic movements going on and how those calculations have to be so quick and so precise in the exact moment. Right now, she's talking to her technician. Where am I at? How far am I away from the pod in front of me? Sets it down, hits the rear steer. This better be a winning score right here.
And the technician looking at his watch. 20 seconds is all she got. She made great use of it. Take a look at the replay.
Here's her first attempt here. Does the nose wheelie, puts it into a moonwalk, nice and slow. Watch that rear steer. And then right here, so out of control, but so in control at the same exact time. Jamie Sullivan just absolutely showing a great display of skill.
3 skills wins on Arena Championship Series Central in 2024. Trying to get one here in Houston. He finished 7th in skills in Glendale. That was her best competition of the night. 9.346. There we go. We don't need an 8 flying off the board. We just got a 9.346. And Jamie Sullivan could continue the Marvel run. Camden Murphy won racing in The Amazing Spider-Man. Can Thor hang on to win the Great Clip Skills Challenge?
And can this be a Marvel sweep in Houston, Texas? That is going to be a difficult score for anybody to beat. A 9.346. Unbelievable
There's
stop.
your leaderboard. Thor takes the lead. Iron Man in 2nd. Rod Ryan Show 3rd. Black Panther in 4th. Miss Overboard in 5th. Vendetta in 6th. And we are 7 trucks into the second competition of the night. 5 more remain until we crown our skills winner. And then we got the Target halftime report coming up. We will go back and look at everything that's happened. Preview freestyle, show you the freestyle order, all the bells and whistles. We got you covered here all night long with Monster Jam and Marvel live at NRG Stadium in Houston. Let's go back to that 9.346. She was very aggressive. Here it is right here. She's very aggressive. There's 2 ways to do this. You can do it slow and steady, and she just absolutely buried and pounded that reverse throttle and just kept it up.
Yeah, she went all in and put her cards on the table and said, hey, this is what I got, Houston, and it turned out to be an absolute royal flush. Jamie Sullivan doing exactly what she needs to do, and a 9.346. The thing that I'm worried about for the rest of the competition is even if they do have a better score, it's going to be hard to round up on all the fans to put it higher than that and get a higher score.
Well, Jamie Sullivan has the lead. We will see if she hangs on. 5 more trucks remain. We continue on with the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Stay right where you are. More Monster Jam Marvel live event action is coming up right after this. We are right back here at the Great Clip Skills Challenge at NRG Stadium with Caleb Blood in Sparkle Smash. Glendale's freestyle winner trying to get it done here in Houston. It's interesting that she follows Jamie Sullivan here because you never want to follow that dynamic run that gets the fans up. And a huge popper there for Sparkle Smash. And just flips it right around. We're going to call that the pop and twist unicorn magic.
Oh my gosh. Here, let's check out the pop and twist unicorn magic right here. Wow, what an aggressive move by Caleb Blood. She gets a whole 180 degrees after the popper, and we just said, was it impossible to beat Jamie? I think not.
Oh, that was a great move. And you know, Jamie's going to be her Sparkle Smash teammate in 2025 on the arena circuit. So interesting battle going on here between two of the top female superstars in Monster Jam. What is next for Kayla Blood? She rested up on that step-up ramp, comes right down into a stoppie, greases the wheels a little bit, trying to get control. She's got it. Into a moonwalk, back up on the reverse side of the FMX ramp. So two great attempts for Sparkle Smash. Check out the super glue replay.
Man, I absolutely love Kayla Blood. Look at this first replay. She gets it, and it's the huge popper, 180s right there, and then hits the second nose wheelie to moonwalk. Little bit of combo there, and it was just two absolute polar opposite styles of driving. One smooth and controlled. Kayla's absolutely aggressive, out of control, and it just shows you how awesome both these women are at driving a Monster Jam truck.
I think Kayla has really found herself in Sparkle Smash. There's a score, 7.316. So that Spinaroonie unicorn move not going to get it.
That should have been second place.
But I think Kayla's really found herself in Sparkle Smash. She was great in Soldier Fortune. But I think this truck really embodies her, really allows her to be a little more free around the track and have a little more fun with it.
Yeah, this is truly, you can just tell that when she wears the Sparkle Smash driving suit, it's her identity. It's who she is. She's tough, but she's in pink, and it's exactly what all the women of Monster Jam want to see, and she just embodies
And
that.
there's your leaderboard right now, 9.346. This is a score to beat Iron Man in second, Rod Ryan Show in third. Sparkle Smash takes that fourth spot, and Black Panther drops to fifth. 4 trucks remain in the Great Clips Skills Challenge. We have still yet to see Gravedigger. We have yet to see the Amazing Spider-Man. Speaking of the black and green wrecking machine, here comes Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. And with Adam Anderson, we talked about that Houston history. 2 skills wins here. You mentioned at the top of the show the 4 overall event championships here dating back to 2017. And 27th start in Houston. His first took place in 2007. What were you doing in 2007?
Well, I can't even remember what I was doing in 2007. All I can think about is this door coming off on the Gravedigger truck, trying to swing that thing closed like my dad did. And Adam Anderson rides out the longest bicycle we've seen in a while.
He's got a slinky bicycle going on, the door hanging on by a thread.
Wow, look at this replay. He gets it way up on the BKT. And those things are just hooking up. Look at the chunks of dirt coming off on those BKT tires in Houston. What a bicycle from Adam Anderson.
Now he's so focused on this run, should be getting the door to completely fall off the truck. That's all I'm asking for right here. He's going to do a popper attempt. There's the 8-pack I talked about earlier. I just love how it's just hanging out there by itself.
Now, is this going to be a popper, or is this going to be a absolutely massive sky wheelie?
If it's a wheelie of any kind, it's going to be very massive because he's very far back. He's got a big start, and he is going for a slap wheelie here. Gets it all the way up back on the wheelie bar. Going to try to tombstone it. And runs out of room, and the door is off the truck.
Throws a little combination move, just stays on the throttle, and that's what I love about Adam Anderson. And he does this time and time again. Let's look at this first replay. He hits the bicycle. You can see those BKTs hooking up again. Look at that slinky effect from the Gravedigger truck, riding that thing out, getting the balance. But watch this. This is what Gravedigger does so good. Okay, so he's on the throttle. He gets that attempt up, but then it sets down and he keeps it going, extends out the trick, keeps it going again, and that's what gets you the points with the fans.
Is it enough to beat JB Sullivan's 9.346? We are about to find out here. Throwing caution to the wind. That Gravedigger Ragged Edge style just kept going. 9.071. So that is going to move Adam Anderson, Gravedigger, up into second place. The lead remains with Thor with 3 trucks to go. Next up, JB Gardner, El Toro Loco gets a crazy bull out here. And listen, man, this is the rodeo capital of the world. If El Toro Loco is going to make something happen, it's going to be right here.
Yes, it definitely is. You make a great point there. They're definitely used to seeing the bull out there in the rodeo capital. Jamie Garner, not Jamie Sullivan, has got the lead down there, but Jamie Garner out on the track, looking like he might throw it in reverse, get a popper, get that thing up, a little wheelie action.
El Toro Loco now going to hit reverse here, possibly off the edge of that ramp, going for the reverse stop into a wheelie. Right on up. There's the smoke coming out. And he wheelies it all the way across the ramp. So that is attempt number 1 for El Toro Loco. Check out the super glue replay.
I thought he was going to go right through that target sign for a second there.
Jamie Gardner right here, man. Great attempt here.
Great first attempt. I wouldn't say great first attempt, but solid first attempt. Definitely something to be proud of, and now we need to do something.
In my opinion, anything on this dirt that doesn't end up with you on the hood, that's a great attempt.
Yes, that is true. It's so hard out here because the dirt is so sticky and grabby, and it really wants to break your truck, rip your truck one way or another, and you just never know at any moment because the dirt is so grabby and sticky. It could just throw you on the hood in a second.
How do you keep your bike on 2 wheels, man? You can't even we keep the trucks on 4.
Difficult.
Big top sky wheelie, brake check.
Oh my
End
goodness.
over end bounce. Jamie Gardner lands it, gets the smoke out the nose. All the elements you want to see.
Okay, so when we get to see this replay, I want you fans to watch the smoke coming out of the nose. So this is the first attempt here. He gets the reverse, gets the wheelie. Just a little bit of smoke out of the nose. Now watch this right here. He's middle of the air and hits the smoke. He can't see anywhere he is going. He cannot tell which direction is up, down, it doesn't matter, and still somehow reaches over and grabs the
I
smoke.
can't even adjust my radio when I'm driving, and he just puts smoke out the nose of El Toro Loco. We await the score. Thor has the lead. 8.342, so third place right now for El Toro Loco. We're starting to see a little more vibrancy in these runs, a little more oomph, a little more power, and the scores are showing it.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing some of these later drivers really put it down. Now, a guy that can put it down and has been through a lot of skills events is this guy right here.
Dalton Widener won the Great Clip Skills Challenge in Glendale. We talked about that incredible moment where he just chucked the steering wheel out the window onto the dirt. We'll see if he does that here again tonight.
Yeah, does he go 2 for 2? It worked. It worked in Arizona. Does it work here again in Houston? Or did he get a little maybe slap on the hand to say, hey?
Listen, Dalton Widener is a showman. And a lot of this course competition and racing and horsepower, but you still have to have that showmanship ability in your runs. Dalton loves to put the steering wheel out the window. It's more successful in the arenas to do that because you're just pretty much, in the same spot. But he was able to do that in the stadium last week. It got him the win. And it was very entertaining. Here he is right now with a nose wheelie.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you're not going to see any steering wheel out the window on this attempt. Maybe on attempt number 2, but he's got great balance here. Doing something very similar that Jamie did, but he is in a different location, throwing in the rear steer there. Oh, and throwing in the front steer. Look at how he's got that thing sideways. That is a very technical move to be able to get that done, and the crowd is reacting.
Yeah, he's crab walking this thing in place right now. Beautiful execution by Dalton Widener.
I mean, complete control. That's all I can say about this replay. He is in just control of this 12,000-pound truck. I don't know any other way to explain it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how he's doing it, and he knows when it wants to be done. Dalton Widener, wow, putting on a clinic.
He's got great music, man. The Cult of Personality. I hear it's ringing in my ear right now, Living color, dude. Here comes Jurassic Attack down the ramp again into a nose wheelie. If he's going to take this thing up that steep face of the ramp, he is going to have to really push that rock.
There it is!
There it is. He's got it out the window. Frisbee toss it. Let's make it a digger disc. Just hanging there.
He got the zoom on the steering wheel. What steering? He doesn't need a steering wheel.
And there it goes.
Oh, yes!
There it goes.
Give this man the win.
He is still steering the truck with no wheel.
You can't even turn the radio on and off, and this guy throwing his steering wheel out of the truck, driving it halfway across the stadium.
Man. I love this guy. Take a look at the replay.
What a matchup of 2 skills attempts. This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with in 2025 in the Stadium Series. Dalton Widener is here, and he's here to stay.
Dalton Widener, if he can step it up next year in freestyle, could really be one of the, an independent to win a series championship. He's got all the tools, man. All the tools are there for him. Now we wait the score to find out if it's enough to take the lead and go back-to-back in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Of course, Camden Murphy is on deck.
Did you see that gesture? I was wondering what that was. That was telling the fans, go all the way up on your phone.
Oh,
slide
man.
it up. Oh, my goodness. Come on.
8.979 for the fans in Houston. They did not like the showmanship, probably because they have to watch the Houston Texans every Sunday. They're good now. They're good now. So
they are.
They are good now, man.
I definitely heard some boos in there. I heard some boos against that score. So some of the fans definitely know that maybe that wasn't exactly what should have been done. Third place, still a solid score. And what's most important, he's going to get those points for a possible event championship. And
he's got second place in racing, so you got to stay consistent. We saw that with Adam Anderson, and here comes Camden Murphy, the amazing Spider-Man, our final competitor. The Houston crowd it's always hard to impress them. They've seen so much throughout Monster Jam's history, especially in the stadium, going over 20 years now. It is really hard to impress certain fans in certain areas. Houston is one of them.
Yes, and like you said, I don't want to say they're numb to it in a way, but they've seen a lot of Monster Jam. You really have to have something extra impressive in front of these Houston fans to make it pop. Tonight, though, it really seems like these Marvel trucks are on fire.
They are. Camden Murphy with the first Marvel Monster Jam win on U.S. soil in JCB Racing, trying to go back-to-back here in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Either way, though, a Marvel truck's going to take this one because Thor has the lead. So Camden Murphy right up in the nose wheel. Let's see what he's got in store now.
Oh, there you go. Hit the throttle a little extra hard. You've seen. Now, let's watch this replay. What I want you guys to focus on is where the paint is on that dirt coming up the race ramp. So they kind of seal the track with the paint, and unfortunately, they can't get the water in there. Now, watch the dirt slip out from under them. He can't keep that truck up. It makes it very difficult in that situation. What he did was just hammer the gas and did what he could with what he had.
Attempt number 2 here for Camden Murphy. Truck is leaning a little bit to the left. We'll see if he can clock it back to the center with this move. Backing it up on the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. We will see that in freestyle come into play, hopefully quite a few times. I want to see backflip after backflip after backflip after backflip. But right now I want to see what Camden Murphy's going to do. He has got a lot of space in front of him. And he's revving up the engine, getting the crowd on his side.
Oh my gosh. What a perfect set from Camden Murphy.
And he's on the other side of the backflip ramp too, so he's going to try to cook this thing and let it ride.
Getting a little rear steer in there, balancing this truck perfectly, doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Sets it down a little early though. And that's interesting. I wonder why he set it down so early, because that was for sure on purpose.
Take a look at the original Super Glue replay.
Here he comes into that first attempt. You know, you just watch that paint on those jumps. It's just a little dry right there. Camden Murphy can't see that. Hits the gas hard, tries to get out of it. Great set. What a great technical move from Camden Murphy here. The setup on that was absolutely picture perfect. Rides that nose wheelie out, sets it down gently. Solid 2 runs from Camden Murphy. He knows he just needs solid points after the win in racing to set him up for that event championship.
Camden Murphy started the night winning JCB Racing in a great matchup with Dalton Wider. And now we await the score here from the Houston, Texas fans for the amazing Spider-Man.
Looks like something might be going on. They got the track.
8.497 for Camden Murphy. He is going to finish in 4th. That means Jamie Sullivan gets the win. Coming up next, Jamie Sullivan and Thor takes the Skills Challenge win. We're going to hear from our winner after this.
This copyrighted broadcast of Monster Jam may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Feld Motorsports, Inc.
We are back at NRG Stadium here in Houston, Texas. We just finished the second competition tonight, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Marbles, Thor victorious with Jamie Sullivan getting the win. Here is our current BKT overall event standings. We have a tie at the top. 21 points apiece for the Amazing Spider-Man and Jurassic Attack Gravedigger at 20. El Toro Loco 18. Thor with 17. Iron Man with 15 in the top half. Right now, we're going to go back down to the track at NRG Stadium with KCG and Jamie Sullivan, our skills winner.
Jamie, a huge congratulations to you. Not only are you part of the domestic debut of these Marvel Monster Jam trucks, you have now left your mark on the competition as well with a huge skills challenge win.
Oh, this is so awesome. You know, this is my first ever stadium win, and to get it right here in Houston, these fans have been so incredible. You know, we started off really rocky with the racing competition. Unfortunately, we had some truck issues, and we actually had it right after the two-wheel skills run as well. So these UNH technicians, you know I owe it all to them because they're working their butts off back there to get these trucks ready, and you know, I'm so pumped for this.
As we move into our final competition of the day, Monster Jam Freestyle is the competition that all of these fans have come to see. Talk to us about how you're going to carry the momentum from this win into our final competition of the day.
You know, this is our one and only show this weekend, so you know, this truck's going to be left here right in the dirt. These Marvel trucks, we're all coming out here, and we're going to lay it all on the line right here for you fans. Are you guys ready for Freestyle?
So Jamie Sullivan keeps Marvel 2 for 2. Amazing Spider-Man takes racing. Thor takes the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Coming up next is our Target halftime report. We'll go back to racing. We'll go back to skills. We'll preview freestyle. That is coming up next on our Target halftime report from Monster Jam's NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. We'll be right back after this. Monster Jam is brought to you by Target. Shop Marvel Monster Jam toys at Target today. Welcome back to Monster Jam live from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Scott Jordan, Adam Entignap on the call. Been a wild first half of action. We saw Marvel break the streak of no competition wins in a big way with the Amazing Spider-Man taking the racing competition, and then Thor coming in hot with the Great Clip Skills Challenge. What are your initial thoughts of the first half of action?
I mean, my initial thoughts are about time Camden Murphy got it done. And then it was interesting to see Jamie Sullivan get that win in skills. I was very impressed with that. Unexpected. I thought she'd do a little bit better in racing, but she had that technical issue, and she came back swinging, came in hot, and got it done.
Let's talk about some of the exciting races that we saw going back. Iron Man versus Black Panther gave us what you thought was the first upset of the night, where Brandon Arthur defeated Bari Musawir. I told you they have gone at it a few times on the International Series, but anytime you can beat an established racer such as Bari Musawir, I do agree it does have to be considered an upset. And here they are coming off the line. Brandon started getting that air down the gray lane ramp onto the track and just never let up.
Yeah, and it just looks like Bari pushed just a little wide on that first turn, maybe lost a slight bit of time. But really, for me, Brandon Arthur just stayed so tight to every single turn and did not make a single mistake. And look at how close this finish was. Brandon Arthur really came away with a big win in my eyes there.
Another great race, Vendetta versus Miss Overboard. Deidre Garner giving Mike Christensen everything she had, taking the win. That definitely was an upset. Here we go looking back at that round one race. Vendetta a little slower off the line. Mike Christensen did pick it up, and it was a close finish here.
Yeah, and you know, for Deidre, it's so cool. She's coming back to Monster Jam in the Miss Overboard truck with her husband, and to come away with a win like that over Mike Christensen, you know they're bumping elbows in the back like, hey, Mike, what's happening, bro? Smoked you in the first round. Super fun to watch, and just stoked for her.
Does he get as emotional when Deidre wins as he does when Zach wins, though?
That's the real question. We needed a camera on there, didn't we?
Another exciting race took place in the semifinals between Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. Camden Murphy, the Amazing Spider-Man. Let's take a look at this one. This one will see Spider-Man move on with a 19.167. Fastest time of the night here.
Yeah, and this is just something you don't see often. Camden Murphy putting the pressure on. Gravedigger grabs the pod, and it wasn't just by a little bit. It was a lot. He had at least a whole BKT tire over the inside of that pod. Very uncharacteristic mistake from Gravedigger, but he does get out of the way. Let Spider-Man finish.
So great racing competition gave way to a pretty exciting skills competition. We saw the first 6 trucks. Nobody broke that 8 plane. Then Jamie Sullivan stepped in and said, watch what I can do. Let's take a look back at the Thor run that won Jamie Sullivan the Great Clip Skills Challenge.
Yeah, and I hope we can definitely get a comparison between her run and Dalton's. Right here, she just did great. She had great execution, and she did it earlier. You know, it's very hard to beat somebody that establishes a great score and does a great 2-wheel skills trick like this. And I think what played into her favor is those early rounds. You know, there wasn't those big scores popping up. There wasn't anything super exciting going on. And when Jamie came out, I think the fans were really blown away with the amount of control she had, how slow she could move that truck, how heavy it is. It's very, very impressive. And Jamie Garner seemed like the first one to put that display on for the fans.
Sullivan.
Yes, Jamie Sullivan.
Yes,
Sullivan, not Garner.
Right.
Sullivan.
He's in the
yes,
crazy book.
Yes, I get them all mixed up. There's so many Jamies going on.
Another great run. Dalton Wider, Jurassic Attack. He would finish 3rd in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. We talked about that, the ultimate showman with the steering wheel frisbee flip out the front that just lights the world on fire here. Take a look.
You know, and now that I'm thinking about it, so he did do a very similar trick in Arizona 2 weeks ago, and a lot of these fans are watching that live stream and seeing this exact same trick twice in a row, and maybe that's what it was. I really think it was unfortunate that Dalton didn't come away with the win, but the same time that I say that, there's no reason why Jamie Sullivan doesn't deserve the win either.
That's right. Well, as we've had an exciting first 2 competitions, there's still one remaining, which is freestyle. It's a log jam at the top of the BKT overall event leaderboard. We have a tie between the Amazing Spider-Man and Jurassic Attack, 21 points apiece. As you guys can now take a look at that Gravedigger right there in it at 20 points. Jamie Garner of Toro Loco very much in the conversation. Jamie Sullivan moves up in the 5th. And Iron Man Brandon Arthur with 6 right now. So 6 points separate the top 6, which really puts a little more pressure on Camden Murphy, Dalton Wider to keep this pace up. Look at Dalton, 11th and 10th. So he does not have a win right now. Camden Murphy does, but Dalton Wider is right there. And Dalton Wider could end up really sending a lot of these fans on YouTube clamoring for the young man out of Knoxville, Tennessee to get the win. They could send him home happy.
Yes.
So, man, what a great story it would be for Dalton Wider to finish the story with the cult of personality blaring at NRG Stadium and win the overall event championship. We got another exciting Marvel Monster Jam event coming up next Saturday night. It kicks off at 8 p.m. It's the final Marvel Monster Jam event of the season from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. We invite you to join Adam and I from here in the Florida headquarters studio, as we call the action live. It'll kick off once again at AT&T Stadium next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Coming up next is the final competition of the night. Freestyle is next on Monster Jam. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Epic trucks, epic stunts, Monster Jam. Welcome back to Marvel Monster Jam live event from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. We have one competition remaining. It is freestyle. I talked about that tie up at the top of the leaderboard. Dalton Wider, Camden Murphy going to make freestyle that much more interesting. Not that it needs to get more interesting, because we've seen some epic freestyle competitions in the stadium in the past. I did one years ago as a pit reporter. We had 17 rollovers throughout the entire event. Half of those were in freestyle. I think only four trucks actually filled the entire clock in their run.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely insane. But it just has to do with this dirt here at NRG. Yeah. It's so, I know I keep repeating myself, and I'm sorry, YouTube Live, that I keep doing this, but the dirt is so sticky. It is so hard to keep the truck on all 4 wheels and not put it on the hood. When you come around those corners and you're trying to take the turns fast, those BKTs, the edge of those tires are hooking up so well that it just kind of creeps the truck up and flips it up on the side, and it can come at any moment. It's just so hard to predict that with how sticky the dirt is.
We're going to take a look at the freestyle lineup here coming up. Jurassic Attack, Dalton Wider are going to kick things off at the moment. Now, this lineup always subject to change here based on availability and things that are going on inside the stadium. that we may not be privy to right away, but Jurassic Attack currently set to kick it off. The Amazing Spider-Man 11th, Gravedigger 12th. Let's focus on those three trucks. If you're Dalton Widener, you're tied at the top of the leaderboard. You have a chance to come out right away and make something happen and cement yourself as the overall event champion. What are you doing?
I mean, you got to absolutely send it. I think what you have to do if you're Jurassic Attack, I know we have another competition next week, but you have to destroy this truck. I mean, it is your time to shine. You got to let everybody in Monster Jam know that's racing one of the Stadium Series next year that you are here and you will do whatever it takes to get it done and win. And that's what Monster Jam's all about. Dalton Widener needs to go out. He needs to completely wreck this truck and show these fans exactly what Freestyle's all about. Now, another big story that I'm looking at is in that 11th spot, Scott. Can he finally get it done? Can he get the monkey off of his back? Can he get the chip off of his shoulder? Can Spider-Man finally come away with the win? Camden Murphy, please, for all of us fans out there, we want to see you do it.
Yeah, he's never won freestyle in this building. Adam Anderson, who will get to go last, who nobody has to do to win the championship, has 4 freestyle wins in his career at NRG. Here's where we stand so far, tied at the top. Camden Murphy and Dalton Widener with 21, Adam Anderson with 20, El Toro Loco 18, Thor 17, and Iron Man 15. We appreciate all of you watching from around the world right now on every different platform that we have available. Monster Jam is all over the world. We appreciate it. We got the YouTube stream up here. Adam and I are in it on the ad breaks. A lot of fans asking if this is the real me talking. Yes, it's me talking. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And it's so cool to be able to engage with our fans in real time during a Monster Jam event. So I appreciate that. And thank you guys for being here. We're gonna fire this thing up again one more time next week from Arlington. And Adam may not be wearing the velvet jacket, but we may see him in the purple sweater.
I hope I am. If I'm not, I'll make sure I wear the sweater for you because you know how that goes.
Well, I love it because we're sort of reflecting the Marvel characters. You know, you've got some purple in there. I've got the red, white, and blue here representing Thor and the Amazing Spider-Man. And there is the Arlington promo right there, October 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern, available live on those platforms. You can catch us on our YouTube channel, and we do hope to see you there from AT&T Stadium. We kick things off here at Monster Jam HQ, our broadcast studio, at 8 p.m. next Saturday night. Monster Jam and Marvel live at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. All right, Adam, so we got freestyle again coming up. We're going to have 12 trucks out here. 2 minutes to pay dirt for these trucks. 2 minutes to championship glory. And we're not, the story right now is, can Dalton Widener finish the story? Can he take the reins here? Can he come out and win the overall event championship? We've seen Camden Murphy win stadium overalls. We've seen Adam Anderson do it. Jamie Sullivan will be a great story. But I think right now, based on what I'm reading in the comments, the fans are on the Jurassic Attack train. And I think if Dalton Widener can come out and do it, and again, he can't be tiptoeing around the track.
No.
He's got to unload this thing. He's got to unleash the fury of Jurassic Attack and get this truck. He's got to do a backflip, and he's got to just go to Mike Christians. Not that he needs to, because maybe Mike will go to him and say, just do what you got to do to win.
Yeah.
But to take a championship home to Team Throttle Monster in Utah from this stadium event would be an amazing story.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm a little frustrated for him because in the sense of I seen those 2 skills hits, and I really felt like that was a better run. And unfortunately, Jamie Sullivan, not Jamie Garner, still came away with the win. And I knew it was going to be hard to beat that score. It's a 9.3. It's harder to get all the fans to push that thing up. And he was even waving to the fans, put it up to the top, put it up to the top. And he deserved it in my eyes. That was a slightly bit better run in 2-wheel skills than Jamie. But we ask the fans what they like. It is not up to us.
Right.
What do the fans like? And tonight, they like Jamie Sullivan more than what Dalton Widener did. Now, is that because, like I said, he did a repeat performance?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason. Maybe you can't do something that you did last week and try to get it done, and maybe that's why he didn't get that score.
Well, Dalton was in the conversation last week up until freestyle. He finished 6th in freestyle, 4th overall. So not a bad run there for Dalton Water. Jamie Sullivan having a great rebound. We talked about that at the top of the show. I said she had all the tools. Maybe some truck issues with Thor to monitor, but I think Jamie Sullivan is going to give it her all because she's got this event, one more competition here, 3 more competitions in Arlington, and then she says goodbye to Thor and hello to Sparkle Smash.
Yeah, and too, another thing is like there could just be a lot of Jamie Sullivan fans in the stadium because Jamie Sullivan is a rising star. And you know, I did say last week that she was the best female driver, and I got a little bit of backlash, okay? I'm not going to give you backlash. I got a little bit of backlash from another woman driver that thought she was the best. And, you know, I can't give her that title yet. Jamie Sullivan has to earn that. And, yes, she is one of the popular female drivers, but these are the things that are going to get it done.
Speaking of getting it done, we're about to get it done on the track. We are down to the final 12 trucks. Stepping out on the track for Monster Jam Freestyle. That is coming up next. Will the Houston Carnage continue? We're finding out next. Stay right where you are. Freestyle begins when Monster Jam live from NRG Stadium in Houston returns. We are back at NRG Stadium. There is a great shot inside the stadium as the fans are lighting it up. DJ Mowski playing the tunes right now. And we are about ready to rock here with Freestyle. A lot of storylines to follow here. You and I were talking about them during the Target halftime report where we were yapping a little bit.
Hey, my favorite comment so far, I like the cheese drippy, bro. You got to love that. You got to love the Monster Jam
This
fans.
chat room is off the chain. Houston is off the chain tonight as Jurassic Attack kicks off our Freestyle. Miss Overboard second, Thor third. Then the Rod Ryan Show, Toro Loco, Iron Man, Sparkle Smash, and Vendetta.
What a fun night so far, Scott.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. And this, I love this format that they're doing in live events now, making this into a party before Freestyle. They're getting the music out. They're doing the beat drop. They're getting the fans up on their feet. Speaking of getting up on their feet, business is about to pick up as Dalton Weiner enters the conversation for the overall event championship. And Jurassic Attack, it is time for this kid to put up or shut up out here, man.
It is, and I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. I'm just going to kind of sit back and watch the beginning of this freestyle, just listen in and take this in and hope he can get this done.
Dalton Weiner sits at 21 points, tied with Camden Murphy for the overall event championship lead and over-end jump, and Dalton Weiner makes a save.
Nothing like the sound of the truck in freestyle.
Brake check, straight up, gets it over there, gets that front wheel clip in the pod, salting momentum. Dalton Weiner out of Knoxville, Tennessee, driving for Team Throttle Monster, one of the up-and-coming superstars in Monster Jam, the 2024 Rising Star Award winner.
Oh, man, so many accolades for this kid, but you know, one of my favorite things about Monster Jam is the sounds of the truck. So far, Dalton Weiner, oh, nice two-wheel skills, gets a little crabby there. I love it. But yeah, something that's so different about Monster Jam that's so fun to watch in person is to hear these trucks really taking it in right now. Dalton Weiner pushing the limits, getting around this track.
Under 60 seconds left, slap wheelie combo for Dalton Weiner. 25 overall event championships on Arena Championship Series West. Tied for second with Armando Castro in the sport next to Weston Anderson. And will Jurassic Attack make his way to the Morgan & Morgan backflip or the APAC floater jump? Reaching the wheels there, going to shoot the gap right down the middle. There is Dalton Weiner easing by the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Nice slap wheelie combo again. He's hitting it right at the right spot. Come on, Dalton, the event championship is yours for the taking. Give us something here.
Yeah, he's going to have to pep it up a little bit. He's coming in hot. Not quite what I thought it was going to be there. I don't think this is going to get it done.
He's going to get a donut here to put an exclamation point on the freestyle run as the seconds tick away. And the clock strikes 0. That is going to do it for Jurassic Attack. Take a look at the super glue. Glue to the action replay.
Couple nice hits onto the pod there. Definitely seems like this track is made and caters to that freestyle run. Nice big hits. getting the pod out of the way, and, you know, you can really go big on this track. It allows you to do that, and then a nice two-wheel skills here, turns the front wheels, gets that truck sideways. Like I said, little crab walk action. And then here at the end of his run, gets a slap wheelie, gets that thing 90 degrees up in the air, and really executes dragging that rear wheelie bar, that bumper on the ground. And I just don't know if that's going to be enough to seal the deal here.
7.724 is the score for Jurassic Attack. So now Camden Murphy and Adam Anderson know what they got to do. Jamie Sullivan as well. Jamie Gardner, Brandon Arthur, all the trucks in that top half know what they have to do to try to take the overall event championship. Anything could happen here. 7.724, generally not going to win a freestyle competition, but he doesn't need to win freestyle to win the event championship.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't, but a 7.274, I don't think that's going to cut it even for the top three, and he's definitely going to need to be in the top three to get this overall event championship.
We got a change in the freestyle order as Chris Kohler, the Rod Ryan Show, gets the nod here in second. That means Deidre Gardner, Miss Overboard, not going to run here. She may get pushed down, but right now Chris Kohler, the Rod Ryan Show, is coming up next. Out of Columbus, Michigan, the 2023 Monster Jam Co-Rookie of the Year, making his sixth start in Houston, Texas. His last was on February 10th. You and I talked about the Rod Ryan truck. 44 Houston appearances for this truck.
Yeah, and tonight he really wants to put this truck on top. This truck has been around a very long time, and like I said earlier, has not gotten a competition game. So I'm sure Chris Kohler would love nothing more than to put Rod Ryan on top in freestyle.
Best freestyle finish here was 4th place. And the one thing about this truck body, this is not one that he and Jim are going to have to put back together at the end of the night. So just let her eat, man.
Absolutely. Get a little sparkle smash luck on your side. Hopefully at the end of this competition, that body comes flying off right at the right moment. The crowd gets on their feet, and we come away with a great score. You can see the body's already starting to come off that truck. Chris Kohler's going to have to throw caution to the wind and really get this done.
Perfect slap wheelie set up there right into the wheelie combo. Triple wheelie all the way across the FMX ramp. So from one side of the track to the other. Now Chris Kohler going to go sideways as he cross-threads his way from one side of NRG Stadium to another. He is just laying waste to everything he sees in front of him.
Oh,
and there is that throttle rhythm. And there goes Chris Kohler. And there goes the Rod Ryan Show body as he is trying to lay this truck into absolute waste in the dirt here in Houston.
That's a Monster Jam freestyle. That's how you get it done. Take a note out of that book.
No body left on the truck, and a backflip ramp in front of him. Morgan & Morgan backflip attempt here for the Rod Ryan Show. And Chris Kohler sends it up. And Chris Kohler lands it into a moonwalk.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
This is a freestyle winning run. That was some extreme elevation, Holmes, right there.
Another combination. The crowd, I can't even tell you how loud this crowd is getting right now. They are on their feet for Chris Kohler and the Rod Ryan Show.
Wow, what a run for Chris Kohler, meaning business. And he has got the crowd going nuts. Take a look at the original super glue glued to the, listen, man, before we get to the replay, that backflip, absolute insane. Take a look at Chris now. He has eaten up this moment, and it is a well-deserved moment. He has got the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. And man, what a run early on in this freestyle competition. Chris Kohler may have just cemented himself as the freestyle winner.
Oh my goodness. What did I just witness? That was a historic run. Rod Ryan has to be going crazy right now.
Yeah, that was nuts. Chris is so confident on the track, man. He knows what he can do, and he just
there
did it there. 9.584, and a well-deserved lead for Chris Kohler in the Rod Ryan Show, man. We saw him win freestyle in Detroit in Northern Nightmare. He's won freestyle in Monster Mutt. He could win freestyle in his third truck this year. That's the Rod Ryan Show.
Scott, what would this mean if you're Rod Ryan in the stands. You've never gotten a competition win.
What it means on Monday morning from 6 to 10 on 94.5 on The Buzz in Houston. He has Chris Kohler on the show.
Absolutely he does. Look at this air right here. He gets a little kick from the rear end, but it doesn't matter. Look at the combination move. I mean, there's so many things going on in this one jump. I can't even call it all. And then right here, the backflip. He comes up to the Morgan & Morgan backflip. He just gets so much air. It's a perfect rotation, hits the back wheels, gets a combination move. What more can I say about this kid?
Yeah, well, it was extreme elevation and serious elevation. You know, not to take words out of the legend Scott Douglas. I try to put some extreme air spin on that, man. Here comes Jamie Sullivan in Thor. She has got a shot for the overall event championship. Jamie Sullivan this season in the 2024 Arena Series, 9 freestyle wins.
See, that's something right there at the beginning of Jamie's run that she really has to watch, because this dirt is so unforgiving, and we talked about that. She just got a little sideways like that, and one of those is going to catch her off guard and put her on her lid, and it's going to end the freestyle run short. Got to straighten up just a little bit here in NRG.
Jamie Sullivan graduated from the University of Northwestern Ohio, and Jamie Sullivan going over. Just a regular turn, caught the dirt. That is Houston Dirt 1. Jamie Sullivan, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I seen that one coming from a mile away. I called that. It's just she was driving too wild. She was too aggressive. She had to straighten up. She just was driving out of control, not being precise with her corners. And
let's take a look at the replay here. What went wrong on the turn?
So right here you can see how she tries to turn a little early there to avoid the jammer, and then right here she gets a little bit sideways as well, kind of gets off balance, and then tries to make a turn, grabs that pod, and the dirt gets her. You know, you can't be that aggressive at those certain spots. The dirt's going to grab you.
You know, and the thing is maybe you can be that aggressive in Glendale. You can't do it here.
No, you cannot.
4.621 is the score for Jamie Sullivan in Thor. Her event championship hopes may have just gone down the drain. Right now, the story so far, Chris Kohler, the Rod Ryan Show, 9.58 for the run of the night. Jamie Garner, El Toro Loco gets it to go as Freestyle continues next with Monster Jam live from Houston, Texas. We are back at NRG Stadium with more Monster Jam live action. Brandon Arthur, an Ironman, he gets a go. He's still got a shot at the event championship, too. So we saw Dalton Widener come out. He still has a shot. Jamie Sullivan probably less of a chance at this point. Brandon Arthur still very much in the conversation. 5 or 6 points out of that top spot.
Yeah, I mean, for Jamie, she's definitely not winning, right? Because Dalton Widener came out and got a little bit better score than she did already. So she can't take the win, unfortunately. But
you can't ask me to do math in the middle of a live broadcast, man. You can't ask me to do it.
I know, you got a lot going on.
I do my best, man. I do my best.
I apologize. Yeah, but for Brandon, it really is a great opportunity for him. He could still win this event championship here tonight, but he needs to put a solid freestyle run. And I think one of the things about Brandon is he's just such a humble guy. I've gotten a chance to talk with him on the phone a few times, and he just wants to get better. You know, he wants to win for sure, and that's something he talks about. But as long as he's just getting better each and every round, I think that's what he's really looking forward to. He's so grateful to be driving this Ironman truck, and that's cool to see as an athlete.
Brandon Arthur describes his driving style as aggressively calm. That's my singing style as well, aggressively calm there. Brandon, 2 freestyle wins on the 2024 international circuit. Finished 11th 2 weeks ago in Glendale, so not the best performance. Trying to step it up here a little bit in Houston. Ironman comes in. We love the slap wheelies. You're seeing a lot of those tonight. Houston has now become slap wheelie city after Bari couldn't take us there. Everybody else is.
Yeah, and I think, too, what's so cool about it as well is that when you're looking at the slap wheelie, I love the camera angle that we have to where you can see the whole undercarriage of the truck, and it really gives you a great look on how difficult that is.
Brandon Arthur, Ironman, going for the backflip. Morgan & Morgan backflip attempt, goes a little sideways. Lands it, not going to be able to continue his run, though. The back end of the truck just does not agree with the landing. Nonetheless, we get a backflip out of Iron Man and a backflip out of Brandon Arthur.
This might not be over. He hasn't unstrapped. Oh, he did unstrap right there. It looks like he is done.
I'm going to let you have my glasses here.
Straight up. I need some glasses. It looked like for a second he was still sitting in the truck trying to get it refired. But you can see here, threading the needle there. A nice jump here onto the pod. Gets a nice bounce under control. Gets from one side of the track to the other. And then here's that backflip. Let's check out and see what's wrong. He definitely was on the gas as he landed. Maybe that left rear planetary gear locked up. Tie rod in the back, something like that. But most likely the planetary gear on the left side broke and unfortunately unable to go on.
Out of Ramona, California, Brandon Arthur, another UNOH guy, coming in here with Iron Man in a big spot. Hits the backflip, 8.161. That's going to put Iron Man into second place. The score still belongs to Rod Ryan Show with a 9.584. Coming up next, more freestyle from NRG Stadium. More carnage, more backflips on the way. We'll be right back with more Monster Jam after this. Welcome back to NRG Stadium in Houston. More Monster Jam freestyle on the way. Scott Jordan, Adam Entignap on the call. YouTube chat room going off. Chris Bialek says, give me Miss Overboard or give me death. Miss Overboard, Chris, is out. A break issue going to keep Deidre Garner from coming out to freestyle. I want to invite everybody in the YouTube chat to start throwing up some numbers here. They're commenting on the scoring from Houston. So if you guys are watching out there on the next run here, when we see El Toro Loco, give us your number. Give us your score in the YouTube chat. I want to see what you would want to do. Rod Ryan Show has a lead, 9.584, 8.161 for Iron Man, 7.724 Jurassic Attack, and Thor with a 4.621. So 4 trucks in. Obviously, with Deidre out, we only have 7 more to go. Still Camden Murphy to come. Still Gravedigger Adam Anderson to come. The event championship still on the line. Jurassic Attack still in a good spot right now to get this going. And Chris Kohler absolutely has cooked in freestyle so far. We'll see if Jamie Garner can light the world on fire here in El Toro Loco.
Cook, light the world on fire. I love what you got going on, Scott. You are absolutely killing it. Jamie Garner is one of those drivers who can get it done on any night. We've seen him at the first round do that backflip, blow the tire off the back of that truck, and then keep on going, and the fans were on their feet. Jamie Garner is just a few slight modifications away from a big freestyle win. Let's see if he can pull it off.
What I love about Jamie is when you take a look now, obviously he's in El Toro Loco, he'll be there next season, but when you look at Overboard, when he rocks the Overboard body on that truck, he keeps the smoke. And he cut the 2 holes out of Overboard. So he still gets the smoke coming out of that truck too, man. I love it.
Yeah, that is cool. And he's, Jamie's just such a great guy. And I think we really seen that at World Finals. And he just embraces everything about Monster Jam, around Monster Jam. Brings his whole family. I mean, we got his wife out here, his son, Zach, in Wildside. And he just, look at him. He's doing it for the fans.
Right.
He's getting the smoke.
In Adam Anderson's face. Right, just relentless right there. Right in his face, man. Hats off to Jamie. If we could score just on that, I'd slide the BKT tire all the way up.
Yeah, and it just goes back to what I'm saying. Jamie's a showman, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to bring the fans here at Monster Jam everything that they want to see every time he gets to the track.
Best freestyle finish in this building, second place, as he looks for his first stadium freestyle win of the 2024 year. Jamie Garner will be back in El Toro Loco in 2025, joined on a stadium series by his son, Zach, who is absent today. Deidre Garner taking his place in Miss Overboard, as he will compete on Stadium Championship Series West in 2025. Little floater jump. Jamie Garner slowing down a little bit.
I don't know if the truck stalled for a second there, or maybe he was just testing out the shocks.
They have a great crew and team Overboard. Shout out to Jeff Bauer, longtime friend of mine, his son Connor, another crew guy over there. Really keeping it in the family, whether it's the Garners or the Bauers when it comes to Monster Jam. Just an incredible team and great people as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to listen to his throttle rhythm and listen to the sound of the truck, and kind of just sounds like it's slightly slightly missing a little bit, maybe a fuel injection issue, fuel pump issue, something like that.
He's still going to go for the backflip here regardless. Jamie Garner goes up. Jamie Garner comes down. And he had enough juice left in the tank for the backflip. And he's got 40 seconds left on the clock.
What a backflip. That was perfect execution. I mean, that's not a surprise coming
It
from
almost
Jamie
seems
Garner.
like he's trying not to put too much pressure on the transmission right now, or
Something's
the motor in
going
the
on.
truck. It's not 100%, but it had enough to hit the backflip.
Yeah, I mean, the way his throttle rhythm is, you can tell the truck doesn't want to drive very well at slow speeds, and then he's kind of just hitting the throttle full all out, and there's something going on for sure.
Right over the cars, brake check for Jamie Garner, straight up vertical sky wheelie. And El Toro Loco bounces it onto the transfer and continues to run. And now he's going to blow smoke in Jim Kohler's face.
I love it, just taunting the competition.
If you haven't been a Jamie Garner fan, it's your first time to see him run, that will make you a Jamie Garner fan.
Absolutely. Throwing a little bit of smoke, little snot there coming out of the front of the bull's nose. Jamie Garner, nice hit here onto the pod. It's a not so gracious bounce there, but makes a great save, and then the huge backflip. Look at the amount of air and the way he lands on all 4 BKTs, making sure that impact isn't too bad on that truck. Comes away, can still keep going after the backflip, and that's a big important.
He got a late push on the back 2 wheels off the top of that backflip ramp. I think that elevated him up as we wait for the score here. Jamie Garner, 9.109 for El Toro Loco. Great score. Jamie Garner moves up into second place. Chris Kohler has the lead. And up next, Glendale's freestyle winner, Caleb Blood in Sparkle Smash. Now, during the season, during the championship season, when you win freestyle, you get to select your order for the following week. I don't necessarily know if that's the case here, because generally in that, with that, the only caveat is you have to go at least 8th. So 8, 9, 10.
Oh my goodness,
glitter
what is going on here?
That should be your next outfit for next week, the glitter suit. We're gonna
Oh my goodness,
the
how
glitter
are you supposed
cannon.
to compete with that?
Well, she should have done that in Adam Anderson's face.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Hits the crab walk off the first jump,
Man,
throws the confetti glitter in the air. I mean, just wrap it up. Give her the trophy.
Does she have enough for another go? I don't know. That's new.
Like we might have some. No, I mean, I thought it for a second it might be rear steer issues, but I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe she was just being safe, backing up, not trying to get a little crazy there, run into anything.
Here comes Sparkle Smash after the glitter bath on the dirt here in
The
Houston.
glitter bath, I love it. Little swap out there, doing almost identical run to what she did in Arizona. Oh, big jump onto the pod.
Oh, man. Oh, every time she stops and tries to turn, it looks like the truck is going to go over.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about with Jamie Sullivan is you have to be a little bit slower if you're going to make these sharp turns out here. And looks like Caleb Blood learned her lesson.
Nice
She's on the
push.
throttle hard.
Incredible push there from Caleb Blood. Got some big air.
Oh, looks like it might have. Oh, she just had to throw it in reverse. I thought it stalled out for a second, but a little too close to the wall. Had to throw it in reverse, break the momentum, but we're going for the backflip.
Caleb Blood, Sparkle Smash, going to attempt a backflip on the other side. A lot of room in that corner to throttle out here. She goes up. That is a big time backflip.
And there goes the rear of the truck. The tie rod's gone.
That is the biggest air off the container we've seen all night on the Morgan & Morgan backflip. And Caleb Blood with an exclamation point on the run, trying to make it 2 wins in a row.
Well, the dad jokes just keep on coming. Sparkle smashed that run right there.
All right, I'm going to leave the desk now. Take a look at the replay.
Oh, we got to get that in there, right? I mean, what better way to start out a run than a glitter cannon coming out the front of your unicorn? I mean, geez, that's what I'm talking about. Sparkle Smash, nice airs here, little cattywampus there to come out in the middle of the pod, but here's that big backflip, hits the throttle way too hard, over-rotates, blows the whole third member off the back of the truck. Oh, my goodness. I'm glad I'm not her technician
She
tonight.
deserves all the credit in the world. She went for it. She sent it. She nailed it. And a great backflip there for Caleb Blood and Sparkle Smash as we await the score coming in from Houston. So far, we have seen Jamie Gardner put a little El Toro Loco smoke on the Gravedigger and Avenger. We've seen Caleb Blood with the glitter shower on NRG Stadium. Look at this backflip.
Oh, there goes the third member. See ya.
8.938. So we saw you want to see Jamie Gardner with the smoke in the air. What if the glitter came out during the backflip, man?
Now we're talking.
Now
I hope she's listening.
Now we're talking. All right, coming up next, we continue on with Freestyle. The event championship is still up for grabs. Who walks away with the crown? Find out next on Monster Jam. We are back with more Monster Jam live action in Houston. Mike Christensen, Vendetta. Rocket for Team Throttle Monster. We have seen a great competition so far. 9.584 is the score to beat from Chris Kohler and the Rod Ryan show. We've seen Jamie Gardner throw it down. We've seen Caleb Blood throw one down. Will we see Mike Christensen throw one down?
I don't know if that many people can throw things down. I don't know if there's enough stuff to throw down, Scott, but Mike Christensen can definitely do it here tonight. He has the motor, but that doesn't look good.
He has a freestyle win here in 2023, and right now he's just in the deep corner
of
the track by the tunnel, and that is going to be it for Mike Christensen. I talked about the transmission issues he had in practice yesterday. And he is now beating on the truck, man. Just what can you do about that? Nothing at all you can do. The truck just doesn't want to play today.
I mean, that's not totally true. And Mike's probably not going to want to hear this, and I don't know if this is even part of the issue, to be totally honest with you. But 2024, Mike Christensen had more problems than any other driver on the circuit. He put the big motor in. He had so many issues going on, and now he has issues again. And for Mike Christensen, it might be time to reevaluate and say, you know what? Maybe I can't run that big of a motor.
I talked to his wife, Wendy, at World Finals. She told me about the issues. Just they were playing around with the motor and trying to get it right. She says she feels like they do have it right now. And I think more or less this may just be transmission on the truck. And the truck just did not come to play today. But right now, Jim Kohler has come to play in Avenger, the 7-time Extreme Air Award winner. In Avenger Fire here, ready to come out and rock this crowd in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to bring it back a little bit, though, because with Mike Christensen, it looks like maybe Jim Kohler's stuck on a pillar or something there. So here's the replay. It looks like he might be hitting the side of the stadium.
Yeah, the angle of the building there, not quite. The building got in his way, basically, I think is what just happened.
The building got in his way. He didn't run into the building. The building got in his way. We're at a little bit of a stall right now. I think they're trying to get him to back up, but you know, just going back to what we were talking about with Mike Christensen and the transmission issues, when you put that much motor in the motor package, when you put that much horsepower, it torques on everything a little bit more. And that's kind of why I said that. It's not that it's a motor issue, but when you put that much horsepower out of the drivetrain onto the transmission, it makes it so difficult to keep it together.
Okay, so something going on with Avenger, and now Bari Musauer gets an opportunity here. So we will get an update on Avenger. Came a little close to the wall there, and we're going to move on here to Black Panther. Once again, that score to beat 9.584 for Chris Kohler, and Bari Musauer gets an opportunity in Black Panther. 15th Houston start here for the young man. I say that young man because he's younger than me, you know, and everybody is these days. Out of Orlando, Florida. He's finished third overall here. He did win a freestyle competition on this track in 2021. Bari has the resume that anybody that wants to get into Monster Jam would love to have. Two things he's never done. He's never won a stadium series, and he's never won a World Finals championship. He's been close many times, but you talk about 2011 Rookie of the Year, 2012 Showdown champion, and that was in Spider-Man, and that's how long Bari has been around. You and I talked about this off the air. Bari was in the previous iteration of the Marvel Monster Jam trucks, drove Spider-Man, for 2012 to 2014. Arena Freestyle of the Year, Wow Factor, Entertainer of the Year. Just doing it all here. When can Bari win a series championship?
I don't know. I mean, Scott, that's going to be pretty difficult with Tyler Menninga and Tristan England aboard those two trucks, JCB Digatron and Gravedigger. Those two boys are absolutely unstoppable, it seems like. But if Bari can get in this marble truck for the next season, you know, he could have a shot and get that fan favorite vote and just get this truck tuned in, find his identity, and get it going.
Yeah, he will be competing back in Zombie, but we may see him again on the International Series. He does double duty. International Series and Stadium Series. Some big air there for Bari Musauer and Zombie. A lot of fans in the chat asking about Avenger. We don't have an update yet. All we know is he seemed to get stuck on the wall, and they may be seeing how close they can pry him off. Right now, Bari Musauer and Black Panther trying to come up here one ramp to another, right in front of the backflip ramp. Going to make a hard turn to come back the other way. Sauer threads the needle. Big air again for Black Panther.
Yeah, and I like this track for that reason. You know, you have that big pod in the middle.
He's wasting no time. He goes in hot on the backflip ramp. Sideways side slap on the landing. And Black Panther is not done.
Bari's going to feel that one in the morning right there.
Now coming up the cross thread here, trying for another hard side slap, clipping the back wheel on the pod. And that should do it for Black Panther. Take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay. Bari Musauer, a solid run from Mr. Consistency. He did get the slap wheelie in there, straight up on the vertical base of the truck onto that wheelie bar, and here we go.
So this is his first hit right here, a little underwhelming. He grabs the side of that jump just a little bit, kind of sets him off. Definitely not the momentum he wanted at the beginning, but it just kept kind of producing more and more momentum as the run went on. He got that slap wheelie there, and then this backflip was absolutely beautiful. A little sideways, gets a slight corkscrew in there, lands on the side of those BKTs, but man, those tires can take just about anything. Bari Musauer coming away with a great score.
Bari waving to the crowd. That there's arguably no drivers in Monster Jam more popular and more fan-friendly than Bari Musauer is. 8.312 is the score for Black Panther. All right, Avenger is out, so there's your update. Avenger will not be able to compete. That means we're down to two trucks, Spider-Man and Gravedigger. Fans in the chat, Adam, saying we should dress up as Marvel superheroes for Halloween. Mutant Zoomies, I am going as Deadpool. I am going as a Marvel superhero.
I'm ready. I just got to get the approval. Let's get the approval, right? Let's go.
Get the approval, yeah. Let's get the. What superhero would you be for Halloween?
Oh, Iron Man. No question. Right. Tony Stark. I feel like I've always had Tony Stark vibes. You know what I mean?
Why do you have Tony Stark?
I don't know. I just feel like I've always watched Iron Man and
we're going to get an update here. We're going to go to Casey and Chris Kohler right now at NRG Stadium. We're having some technical issues. We will try to get back to Casey, who was talking with Chris, who currently has the freestyle lead. Speaking of leads, the overall event lead right now in the hands of Camden Murphy and the Amazing Spider-Man. He comes into this competition with 21 points, tied with Dalton Widener. All he has to do is beat a 7.724 to elevate himself, but Adam Anderson still waiting in the wings as long as he can get the El Toro Loco smoke out of his eyes from J.B. Carter that we had earlier.
Yeah, Adam Anderson is still to come, and he definitely can get it done. But you know what, Scott? I'm going to have to rebuttal that statement. I think that means Spider-Man. Right. I had to. My son loves Spider-Man. That's his favorite character right now.
My daughter Lily's going as Gwenpool, and my other daughter Ivy's going as Spider-Gwen. So maybe I should be Spider-Man.
Oh, there you go. We can both be Spider-Man. We can point at each other, right?
Spider-Man. All right, here we go. Camden Murphy with the event championship on the line. Lap wheelie again. Everybody coming off that jammer with a slap wheelie.
Now, one of the things, we're going to talk a little strategy right now for Cam. He has Adam Anderson 1 point back. He knows Adam. Oh, a nice air onto the pod there, getting the truck down. But he has Adam Anderson behind him. He knows he's 1 point behind. He hasn't ever sealed the deal. What's going through my mind is, as a driver going into this freestyle run, is do I go all out and try to get the win, or do I play it safe in the first, 60 seconds or how long it takes to get your sure score, play it safe there, and then go all out towards the end of the run? For Camden Murphy, he has to get a score here. He has to be solid so he can get momentum coming into that last round. I don't know necessarily if the win in freestyle is going to be as prominent right now, but I think momentum into the last round is going to be huge for Camden Murphy. So right now, just get a solid freestyle run, come away with a top 3.
Camden Murphy trying to cement the event.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness.
What kind of air was that? We have not seen that all night long. Camden Murphy sky high.
Camden Murphy on 3 wheels. Big air again for Camden. Brake check.
We're not going for top 3. We're going for the W, Scott.
Oh, yeah, he means business here, trying to get that freestyle win again. Brake check, end over end.
Mic drop.
Down on
Give
one
me
wheel.
some.
Making the save, trying to go to the well again. And he can't make it happen, what a run for Camden Murphy. That could have won the event championship right there.
The brakes are on fire.
I think he just pushed everything he had into that run, man. He knows it's time to deliver the overall event championship to the Marble team. Take a look at the replay.
Wow, I mean, this is first hit. He gets a little slap wheelie here. Great job from Camden, starting out his run, getting a little combination. But look at the air in this. I mean, what? Does he get flying miles for that or what?
I'm not sure, but Camden Murphy just put himself right at the top.
How many sky miles does he get for this run? Look at this. Here he comes. He gets a little mistake here, but he gets a rollover. But, that's how you're supposed to end a freestyle run in Monster Jam. If you end with a crash like that, you can't be not happy. You end with a smile on your face. Spider-Man giving the fans what they want.
Score's coming at 8.947, so Camden Murphy has put himself in a position to win the event championship. Adam Anderson is on deck. Adam Anderson is going to try to win the event. It has all come down to this. The event championship is on the line. The 5-time world champion takes the track next from Houston on Monster Jam Live. Welcome back to NRG Stadium in Houston. We are rocking and rolling in this incredible freestyle competition. We are down to our last competitor, and it's a good one, Adam Anderson. And Gravedigger has a shot at the event championship. We take a look at the dirt crew out there still trying to get the amazing Spider-Man off the track. And once that happens, we will have our final freestyle run. 2 minutes to the event championship. Is it Camden Murphy or is it Adam Anderson?
I mean, I would have thought Camden Murphy would have got a better score right there, and with Adam Anderson coming up last, I don't know if the fans feel like necessarily maybe that wasn't the score that Camden Murphy deserved, and they come back with Gravedigger and give him a little bit better score, and maybe everybody votes. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm a little bamboozled right now. I can't believe it. I thought that was a second-place run.
Yeah.
Caleb Blood still sitting in second place, and the Rod Ryan Show, maybe 44 years and the first win coming here tonight in NRG Stadium.
Yeah, we haven't been given an update yet on the issues with Avenger as to why Jim did not come out onto the track. We saw him start to move, get close to the wall, and then we moved on to Bari. So if we do get an update, we'll make sure we give that to you. But right now we hear the bells a tolling in NRG Stadium. That means it is Gravedigger Adam Anderson ready to come out, the 5-time World Finals champion out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. 27th start in Houston. His first was in 2007. His last was on February 10th. Gravedigger 42 has an opportunity here to go 2 for 2 in overall event championships. That's a heck of a streak.
Yeah, it is. But really, though, is it a surprise Gravedigger having a 2-win streak? It doesn't matter who's on the floor, what Marvel character it is, what Sparkle Smash new truck is going on. Gravedigger has a presence in Monster Jam that is well known, and he's showing it.
So he trails Camden Murphy by 1 point. That means he's got to finish 2 places in front of Camden to try to get that point back and take the overall event championship.
Interesting bounce there at the beginning of that freestyle run where he went off the track. Really had to slow down and make sure the officials didn't shut him off by getting too close to the wall there.
Parker 88 telling you that you were wrong. George Bellhand and Buddy Tompkins did get wins in the Rod Ryan show. All the way back in 2016 and 2017.
Well, Scott, we're going to have to get your glasses checked with your facts.
As Adam Anderson makes a nice save there. Probably didn't really competition.
Well, first freestyle. How about that?
Here we go. All right, take a look here. As we got Adam Anderson again, he has got to win this. He doesn't have to win freestyle, but he's got to win the event championship in Gravedigger here right now to cement it.
Gravedigger 42 looks just as good as Gravedigger 35. You can see the way that the suspension's working, how much the truck's settling, how hard he can drive that truck. Look at the way it just soaked up that bounce right there. Has to slow down once again, losing that momentum. But, yeah, the truck, Gravedigger 42, I think he's going to be happy with it.
Nice air there for Adam Anderson. Hard landing on one wheel, tiptoes his way across. Eight-pack backflip for Adam Anderson out of nowhere. And he nails it.
Oh, no, he rolls on the hood. What a small, tiny mistake from Gravedigger.
Look at Chris Kohler. He is trying to figure out if he just won freestyle or not. Here, take a look at the replay.
Here he comes off with the first hit onto the pod. Another little hit into the corner. Nothing special there. Grabs a nice slap wheelie. Gets a little cattywampus going on right there. Throws it into a 180. And then right here, watch the truck just soak that up. So nice. That Gravedigger 42 working great. And then right here, a huge air. Comes up just a little bit short, gets a big bounce, and then he has the awareness to steer it right into the 8-pack backflip, hits the 8-pack, throws it in reverse, flips it on the hood, and Chris Kohler waiting there. Just look at the look on his face. You can tell.
Now we wait and see. Oh,
no way.
Adam Anderson took it. Man, the look of disappointment on Chris Kohler's face says it all. Adam Anderson gets the freestyle win. And it looks like Adam Anderson, we're going to wait for the official word, but it looks like Adam Anderson could now be a two-time overall event champion in this new Gravedigger chassis.
Wow.
So Chris Kohler is shaking his head.
I'm speechless.
In disapproval. You agree with this?
I disagree with that scoring, but that's what the fans saw. That's the moment, and that's what happens in Monster Jam. You know, maybe the vibes and the energy is just different.
Yeah, it was a great run for Chris and a great run for Adam. He had all the elements. He knew what he needed to do, and I said that. He came out 12th last, knew what he needed to do, and he was ready to go. All right, we are going to go down to KC at NRG Stadium with our winner.
Adam, congratulations in a legendary lineup of drivers here tonight. Incredible freestyles to come out here, last in freestyle, do that amazing backflip and clinch the victory. You've got to feel so proud.
You know what is awesome, but hats off, Chris Kohler. You were awesome, dude. But guess what? Team Gravedigger's back to the moon, baby, just like Houston. Thank you, guys. Year after year, we come out here, rock it out. I wasn't done. The truck gave up, not me. But if it wasn't for you Monster Jam fans coming out here year after year, supporting us, supporting Team Gravedigger, having this great time with your family, and sharing it with us, we love you guys.
Congratulations to Adam Anderson in Gravedigger taking home the freestyle win. We're going to go ahead and add up all of the points and find out
Adam Anderson coming in hot on the 8-pack out of nowhere, nails it.
You know what I love about this? You listen to that interview, and he starts it out with, Chris, it was such a good run. And then he goes right back to, but Gravedigger's #1. And I love that there's no love lost. And it just shows you how bad every driver wants to win these competitions. Oh, man, Chris Kohler definitely disappointed that he didn't come away with the win.
I told you the Andersons have ruled Houston. Tom Mentz as well. A long history here for the Anderson family at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. Coming up next, we hear from our overall event champion. Stay right where you are. We're not done yet. We got more Monster Jam live from Houston coming up right after this. We are back at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas with the conclusion of Monster Jam Live. What a great night it was. Adam Anderson came in last and won the freestyle competition, and that is enough to take him to his second consecutive overall event championship. He's got 32, Amazing Spider-Man 30, El Toro Loco 28. Right now, let's go back down to KCG and our overall event champion.
Adam, this truly has been one of the most electric nights that I have experienced in Monster Jam in 2024. How does it feel to be taking home the hardware here tonight?
You know what? The only thing I need to hear are these fans one more time. Blow the roof off this place. Let's hear it!
Adam Anderson feeling very confident, and the old man still has a few new tricks up his sleeves with some new trucks. Tonight was a great night, man. We had a lot of fun here.
Yeah, we did.
Marvel wins. They get in some competition wins there. At the end of the day, though, it's still Gravedigger dominating.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Anderson looks really comfy in Gravedigger 42, but like you said, it was so much fun from the very start. Racing was absolutely insane from the get-go. We've seen so many upsets. Jamie Sullivan comes away with a skills win. Camden Murphy gets the racing win, and then Adam Anderson gets the freestyle win. For me, the highlight of the night wasn't Gravedigger. It was Camden Murphy getting that top three and getting that momentum into the last round.
I had a lot of fun tonight here with our fans interacting on the chat. Didn't get too much of an opportunity to do that 2 weeks ago in Glendale, but tonight we saw you, we heard you, and you guys are awesome in the chat room. We hope you join us next week, where we'll be back at it again from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. You can join Adam and I right here live. It's the final Marvel Monster Jam event of the year. That's October 26th at 8 p.m. We'll be back on YouTube and other platforms as well, Fast TV, for all of the action. Adam and I will be right here in the broadcast studio calling it from Arlington, Texas. We get to do this again, man. That's how much fun we have here. We get to do it again. We invite you folks to be here with us as well. I appreciate all of you. For Adam Enticknap, KCG on the ground, I'm Scott Jordan. I'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.